W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Marius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team, so let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Good afternoon and welcome to Shepherd University on the Ram Stadium here on the campus of Shepherd University in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, for Shepherd University Rams football here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. The Rams playing their homecoming matchup this afternoon against the Westchester Golden Rams. It is the headbutting bowl between these two teams. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, as we get into our pregame show, brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Travis, it's a 4-3 Westchester team, 6-1 Shepherd. Both teams coming into this one looking for a big win in the PSAC East standings. Westchester, a team that has a historic program, typically one of the bigger challenges for Shepherd on this PSAC East schedule, but the Rams have won all three matchups between these two teams. Shepherd got a good win last week over Millersville, no turnovers in the rain, and we're able to grind it out and get that win. Westchester, a team that's been up and down this season, but certainly has some talent on both sides of the ball to make things close here today.
And you mentioned that Westchester, a team that's usually one of the blue bloods of the PSAC, has kind of fallen back to the middle of the pack here in recent years and have not had a lot of success playing against Shepherd, not that a lot of teams have. And you look at this Westchester team, we've already talked about how the Rams have lost a lot of firepower from last year's team. You look at this Westchester ball club, you could say the same thing about that team. They don't have the big running back, Jaden McKenzie. He has taken his talents up to Rhode Island. And on the defensive side of the ball, they're going to be missing Jackson Taylor, the two-time Defensive Player of the Year from the PSAC. I'm sure all of the running backs in the PSAC are rejoicing and probably offer to help him back. He's playing up in Delaware with the Blue Hens this year. So a couple of big names not going to be on the sidelines for Westchester. And the Rams are just beginning to really hit their stride and finding their way. And you mentioned that game last week. The Rams have had their issues playing in inclement weather. Last week, seems like they really got over the hump, able to put up 33 points against a very tough Millersville defense in the rain. They did it in a variety of ways. One, most importantly, they did it on the ground. Malachi Brown had 20 carries for 103 yards in that ball game. So if the Rams are able to really commit to that run and being able to run the ball effectively, it's going to help set up that play-action pass and keep that pass rush off of quarterback Seth Morgan.
You mentioned the running game for Shepherd. We know this Westchester team wants to run the football. Quarterback Cooper Jordan in his sophomore season leads the Golden Rams in rushing yards this season. He'll lead the way here today. And then in the backfield, you mentioned having to replace some running backs. Jaden Williams returning as a redshirt sophomore for this team. He's been their leading rusher in terms of running backs. But this is a run-first Westchester offense. They do have some talent at the wide receiver position in Deshaun Seals as well as Seth Degree, who have made some big plays in the past in this game. But they are a run-first team, and the issue for them really has been the passing game at times has been inconsistent, and the interceptions from Jordan, 9 interceptions in 7 games, not a great start, but he is very effective on the ground and gives you that dual threat option, which will make it tough for the Shepherd defense.
And looking at the game that Cooper had last week versus East Stroudsburg, completed 6 of 11 of his passes, only 66 yards, had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, also had 12 carries in that ball game, but a lot of sacks during that ball game. Westchester gave up 4 sacks last week, and that's something that the Rams are going to look to take advantage of this week because they've been able to make those adjustments on the defensive side of the ball, and now they're starting to get back to the style of football that they like to play where they're able to pressure the quarterback, make him speed up his clock, and force some passes and hopefully create some turnovers, and that's something that this Rams defense has done particularly well over the past couple of weeks is being able to get after the quarterback, and when you're able to do that, good things usually happen, and those things usually happen in the form of turnovers.
And another thing today, the running game will be key for both teams because of the wind. It's expected to be 20-mile-per-hour winds throughout the day, some big wind gusts as well coming through. So we would expect these running backs to have big days, and you mentioned it, Malachi Brown as well as Jordan Barnett starting to get it going on the ground. The offensive line, it seems to be improving each week, only allowing, I believe it was 2 sacks last week after giving up 5 2 weeks ago. So they have continued to get better, and quarterback Seth Morgan has led this offense in the post-Tyson Bagent era and has done a pretty good job.
Yeah, when you lose a player the caliber of a Tyson Bagent, you know, you're really going to be happy with anything you get after that. But Seth Morgan has really been quite a find so far this year for the Rams. Already thrown for over 1,700 yards this season, completing 64% of his passes, 13 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. And you mentioned some of the sacks that he's taken. He's taken some monster shots this year. But he's been able to stay healthy. That's always important. And 2, he has not fumbled the ball when he's taken these big hits. And that's been crucial because he's taken some kill shots in the backfield, and for him not to turn the ball over just shows the kind of toughness of the player that he is. And we talked a little bit about the running game. Jordan Barnett coming off of his best performance as a Ram so far this year, last week versus Millersville, 11 carries for 76 yards. That's 6.9 yards per carry, and more importantly than that, 2 touchdowns. So he gives that offense an element. Malachi Brown, a speedy running back, good hands out of the backfield. Not that he's not physical in the tackle box, but you look at Jordan Barnett, he's built for that kind of work. 6 foot, 225 pounds. So he's that banger in between the tackles that's really going to help you establish the run and, more importantly, wear down that opposing defensive front.
Let's take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Marius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. We're now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, your team able to get a good win over Millersville this past week. What did you take away from the win?
Well, one, we scored in all three phases, which is outstanding, offense, defense, and special teams. I think our guys showed a tremendous amount of grit, being able to handle the weather on the road. It was a tough ball game, and I think we just continued to fight and play the entire 60 minutes to come away with the win.
You mentioned scoring in all three phases. What does that say? I think that was the first time you did that this season. What does that say about the growth of the team so far this year?
Well, I think everybody's trying to make plays, and anything that every play that we're out there, we're trying to make a play that impacts the ball game. You know, any football game's decided on about 7 plays in the game. And the thing is, you just don't know what 7 plays it is or where they'll be. So you got to play every play like it's the one that's going to, you know, affect the ball game.
Jordan Barnett gives you a good burst on the ground. What have you liked about him over the last few weeks?
I think he's developing and growing as a running back. I think he's a physical runner. I think him and Malachi together is a nice 1-2 punch.
And then Nathan Muley got a big strip sack for you. He is a guy that played a lot of interior D-line for you last year. Now he's moved to the edge. Just talk about his versatility and what he brings to your defense.
Nathan brings a lot of leadership by example. The fact that he makes plays, he had a great year last year and is carrying on this year, and moved positions, and I think he's getting better each week at that outside position.
This week, homecoming, always a special time here at Ram Stadium. What are you looking forward to about just the homecoming atmosphere?
One, I'm looking forward to being at home, and the weather forecast doesn't look like rain, so I think that's going to be pretty exciting. It should be a lot of fun. It's always fun playing in Ram Stadium with the fans, and it'll be special to have our alumni back. And it should be an exciting weekend. We got a tough ball club in Westchester coming in, so we'll have to play well so we enjoy Saturday night.
What have you seen out of Westchester so far this year?
You know, they traditionally are just a tough, hard-nosed, physical football team that are very fundamentally sound in all 3 phases. They have the ability to beat you in any one of the 3 phases. Their quarterback is electric, can run. He can throw the ball when he needs to. Defense, they're a pressured defense. Get after you, try and kind of force you to make big mistakes. And they're always solid in special teams. So, again, we know it's going to be a tough ball game, and we're going to have to play well to be able to compete to win in the end.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Good luck this week. Concludes our coach interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium for homecoming as the homecoming festivities taking place currently on the field. But let's talk a little bit about these two teams' defenses as we spent segment one speaking mainly about the offense. On the Shepherd side so far, Travis, we've talked about it each week. This defense seems to be getting better and better. And last week they were able to make some big plays, score their first touchdown of the season on the Nathan Muley strip sack that Kevin Kauser recovered in the end zone. And that front four, now back-to-back weeks where we walk away and we feel a lot better than we did from the beginning of the season. And I think a key has been the ability for both Muley and Kauser to really step into those DN spots and step up. Kauser kind of made that transition about halfway through last year from linebacker to putting his hand in the dirt. Muley was traditionally an inside guy. He's now kicked outside, and they found their role. We know what Bednarski and Baxter can do on the inside, so that was expected for them to play well. But to find the pass rush and find the DNs really stepping up on this defense, it's been, I think, a big key to this team's success this year.
And you mentioned Nathan Muley making that transition to outside. He looks pretty comfortable playing on the outside, able to get pressure off the outside, and is not your traditional type of speed rush defensive end. He's more of a complete defensive end where not only is he going to be stout against the run, but he's able to collapse the pocket from outside without having to take that wide angle. And when you have those speedy linebackers behind him, you allow him to be able to pressure the quarterback that way because you're not so much concerned about him trying to keep contained as you just want him to collapse the pocket, and anything that gets outside of him, you have some speedy linebackers behind him. You talked about how the defense is beginning to get more and more comfortable. I think you can also kind of track that is almost a parallel line with the emergence of Dwayne Grantham this year. Early in the year, he was a bit dinged up, wasn't the player that we saw at the end of last year who earned first-team All-PSAC East honors, but as he's gotten more and more healthy and really grown into more of a leadership role with his defense this year, you've seen that defense really beginning to take off. And Dwayne Grantham last week, 5 tackles, 3 of those solo, and now you're starting to see him make those plays that we got used to seeing him last year, not only getting after the quarterback, but he's also quite good at pass coverage. He makes a lot of plays in space, and that really separates the men from the boys when it comes to linebackers. Most linebackers, you figure they're going to be tough in the box versus the run, but what you want to see, especially nowadays, the way teams like to use 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, is can you keep that linebacker on the field all 3 downs, and can he make plays in space? And Dwayne Grantham has really answered that challenge week in and week out for the Shepherd Rams defense.
A key this week, Travis, it appears Shepherd will be without one of its best defensive players in Emilio Pena. I saw him this week at practice walking around with a, not a cast, but a brace on his knee, and appeared to be taking laps around the field. Not certain if that was a part of his rehab. I think he has an MRI scheduled for this week. So he's going to be out today, and he's been such a huge part because they list him out of safety, but we know he can play kind of in the box and do a lot of different things for this defense. But now this secondary continues to be beat up. All of your returners except for Christian McDowell that got significant playing time last year are out now. Dante Harrison's out, Baden is out, and of course Pena out. So they've seen guys step up. Gianni Gamble's come up with some interceptions. Naeem Alexander as well. McDowell's played really well at both safety and corner when they've moved him into that spot. So they've had guys step up, but you're going to have to lose a leader on this defense and a very versatile player in Pena. Cedric Ofri is going to have to fill that role, it appears, today. And It's going to be tough, Travis.
Absolutely, and you mentioned it, Pena just being able to play such a variety of roles on that defense and has been extremely productive for that Rams defense, racking up 48 tackles this year, 27 of those solo. And we mentioned he plays a safety, but he also has 2.5 tackles for a loss. He has an interception, 3 pass breakups. So I think it's going to be a variety of players that's going to have to fill that role, because that's going to be tough for one person to try to fill all of the roles that Pena filled for that defense. And you talked about how those injuries are beginning to mount for that Shepherd secondary. We already know that they're pretty stout in the box, so if I'm Westchester, I'm looking at that Rams defense. One of the areas I'm going to look to exploit today is going to be that secondary, but like we mentioned early on, it's going to be a little bit tougher because you're going to have to contend with the wind. So you might not be able to attack it the way that you want to, but the Golden Rams are going to have to try to find some type of way to get after that Rams secondary, since they have so many new faces and new places.
On the Westchester side, defensively, it's a 3-down lineman look most of the time. They're outside linebackers, more of those converted safety-type players that play in the box. And then on the inside, you have your traditional linebackers. And like a lot of PSAC teams, those are the guys that I think jump out when you look at the numbers. Connor Noble as well as Caleb Slaughter have been their leaders when it comes to tackles.
You look at Connor Noble. We mentioned how Jackson Taylor no longer with Westchester. Who's going to be the top dog on that defense? Looks like Connor Noble has stepped up to take that role. The junior transfer coming over from Temple this season has 80 tackles. That's right, you heard me right. 80 tackles, 34 of those solo, has 8 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 pass breakups. So he's been an absolute tackling machine for this Golden Rams defense. And Caleb Slaughter, the 6'1", 235-pound senior, coming off of a big game last week versus East Stroudsburg, had 9 tackles, 3 of those solo, and he's also doing quite well in the season as well. 56 tackles, 21 of those solo, 6.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 1 pass breakup. So those linebackers, again, we talked about how you're able to stay on the field for all 3 downs. We just named a couple of linebackers, and Noble and Slaughter are the type of linebackers that are going to stay on the field all 3 downs and make plays in a variety of ways.
Let's take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will have our player interviews with Shepherd's running back Jordan Barnett, as well as Nathan Muley. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or give them a call at 304-263-4343. We're now joined by Shepherd Rams defensive lineman Nathan Muley. Nathan, you've made the transition this year to playing more outside opposed to inside. How has that transition gone for you?
I think it was slow at first, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Just getting out there balling, trying to show up because we had a big role last year, Kyle Smith, trying to fill that role as much as I can.
Was that tough too, because you guys were expecting Malik to be able to play this season? That kind of changed last moment. So how tough was that to adjust on toward the end of the camp?
Well, we had to have guys step up. Mike Forbes and Kevin Kausner stepped up a lot in those roles, so I think we're doing pretty well.
You were able to get a strip sack in the game last week. What did you kind of see, or what were you able to do on that play to make that play for your team?
Well, it was just more the call that coaches give us that set it up. I mean, Kev was in the right place for the strip sack fumble recovery, so I was just doing my job trying to get the ball out.
And defensively, you guys seem to have made a lot of progress from week 1 to now. How do you feel like the defense has grown?
I just think everybody's stepping up. They're all hungry, and we're out there ready to play our game.
This week, homecoming, how exciting is that to return home and have homecoming this week?
I think it's great. This stadium is going to be packed, rain or shine, so I think we're all ready to play. It starts up front, ends up front, so we're ready.
And we talked about it for you before, but you're a former Jefferson player as well, so you get to play at Shepherd in front of your home fans every week is always something that I'm sure is special for you.
Yes, sir, it is. Love it. Love the energy.
And then this week, a Westchester team, what have you seen from them so far offensively? I know they got a mobile quarterback with some experience.
Their quarterback is mobile, so we have to keep contained for the edges. Interior-wise, they're not very strong, so we're hoping that Matt and Baxter get all the sacks they want.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Good luck this week. We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams running back Jordan Barnett. Jordan, you're a transfer from Southern Utah. What kind of led you to Shepherd?
Just like the winning atmosphere, the guys came around. I came on a couple of visits and really fell in love with everything about Shepherd, and that's what brought me here.
Early in the season, you hadn't really established yourself, but the last few weeks you've been getting touchdowns and doing a lot of good things for this team. How have you kind of grown into your role as the season's gone on?
Just making the most of opportunities. I was presented with the opportunity to be able to run the ball these past couple games and just make the most of it and help the team out.
Malachi, more of that receiving back, and you being that power back, sets up quite the duo for you guys in the backfield. Just what's that been like to be a part of this running back room?
No, it's great. We have a good chemistry all around. We all love each other in and out. It's just great. It's a good team.
In the game against Millersville, you guys had the most net yards on the ground this season. What were some things that you took away from that game?
Just stay together as a group. We have a great coach, Coach Edge. We work out through the week pretty hard, prepare for this, and I felt like we just executed what we had to execute.
Heading into this week, a Westchester team, usually a pretty good program. What have you seen from their defense so far?
They can play football. Nothing that we haven't seen so far. We're ready to see how they're going.
Are you excited for your first homecoming game here at Ram Stadium?
Yes, I am. I heard a lot about it, so I'm excited about that.
All right, Jordan, thank you. Good luck this week.
Take care.
Concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
We are the Skinner brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood, West Virginia is closing its doors forever. I'm Lori, and my father started this jewelry store 48 years ago. It's bittersweet for us to retire and go out of business, but we are so grateful to you.
I'm Dave. Stop by now and receive up to 70% off our entire inventory. It's our way of saying thank you to our cherished clients who have treated us like family for so many years.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Welcome you back here to Shepherdstown, West Virginia. As we get set for kickoff, Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Durrell, and Matt Miller, our on-site crew, and back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin, as we just had the coin toss. Joining the Rams for the coin toss was Colorado Rockies outfielder Brenton Doyle, who had his number 22 retired, former Shepherd baseball player. Doyle, a nominee for the Gold Glove, so coming off of a great rookie season, and definitely cool to see him in attendance today. I knew he was doing a meet and greet as part of a Shepherd baseball fundraiser, but our opening kickoff is going to be brought to you by, or let's get into our keys to the game first, Travis. The keys to the game. The key to your next car is at the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing.
All right, first let's look at that Shepherd Ball Club. One key today, continue awesome plays on special teams. Special teams has been huge for Shepherd all year long, and they kind of need that momentum to keep rolling in today's game. I figure it's going to be a tight contest. Both ball clubs very talented with a lot riding on today's ball game. So special teams going to need to come up big for Shepherd. For Shepherd defense, make Westchester earn it on offense. Don't give up any big plays, and most importantly, you want to contain quarterback Jordan Cooper. Keep him in the pocket. Make him make plays from the pocket with his arm. He's very tough running the ball, so you don't want to give him that option. Keep him contained in the pocket. Also, Shepherd on offense, they want to run the ball effectively. That's going to serve a couple of different roles. One, it's going to keep your offense on schedule. It's going to wear down that defensive front, like we mentioned. Westchester very tough up front, and it's going to keep those pass rushers off of Seth Morgan. And for Shepherd on defense, once again, they need to harass the quarterback. Shepherd has been doing a good job of getting after opposing quarterbacks, and Westchester gave up 4 sacks last week versus East Stroudsburg, so the Rams are going to need to continue that today and just make it a very long day for Jordan Cooper and company.
So the kick goes into the end zone, and Westchester will take over with Cooper Jordan at quarterback. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward. So Jordan, the quarterback, and he comes onto the field standing at just 5'11", 175 pounds, but very mobile. The Westchester Golden Rams leading rusher on the season, and it's first down and 10 from the 25 for Jordan in the offense. Jordan slings it over the middle, incomplete, and a big hit coming in late. I believe that was Nathan Muley, now wearing number 9. Something must have happened to his home jersey, or for whatever reason he's changing numbers each week. But they're a D-end dropping into maybe a zone blitz type situation, and the pass fell incomplete anyway, but got a hit on Degree, the wide receiver. Here's a run play on second down and 10. And they get about 2 before the Rams come up and make the tackle on the inside. I believe Baxter leading the way for the Shepherd defense. So it'll be third down, about 8.
Looking at that first down play for Westchester, just trying to get Seth Degree involved in the ball game early. Looked like it was a very catchable pass, but then again, I wasn't out there having Nathan Muley bearing down on me, so probably looking a lot easier than what it actually was, and Westchester able to pick up some yards on second down, so they're not going to be facing a 3rd and 10 against this speedy Shepherd defense.
Jordan throws into the flat, and a big hit on the other side for the Rams from Zach Ferguson. That'll bring up a 4th down. No gain on the play, and Westchester will be forced to punt. Seals making the catch, and a big hit from the Rams defense.
It looked like that was Mujahid Johnson, the 6-foot, 195-pound redshirt freshman from Germantown, Maryland. Just a swing pass out to the flat, and the Rams are just so quick to read and react, and Johnson is going out there laying the boom to set the tone for today's game.
So on the punt, going back deep for the Rams is Miles Greer, and Greer has some room. Greer makes a move at the 50, and just enough there for Westchester to make the tackle was Luke Trunnell on that punt return. As he got a hand on Greer, that kind of caused him to stumble a little bit. If not, it could have been trouble if Miles was able to get to this outside and run down this near sideline, but still great possession, or great field position for the Shepherd Rams at their own 47-yard line, 1st and 10 for Seth Morgan in the offense. Malachi Brown is the back in a 3-receiver set. And they'll run Brown off the right side. And great job by this. Well, Brown's still going to get positive yards. It looked like initially that Westchester was going to come out. Delgado was going to make the tackle there on the edge, but Rams still get some room to the outside, but actually no gain on the play. Kind of tough to tell on that far sideline if he was able to get upfield. So actually it was a great job by Delgado as they really were able to string out that run.
Again, a very stout Westchester defense. They have one of the better linebacking cores that you're going to see in the PSAC, and we were able to see that on display on that first play of the game for the Rams offense.
2nd and 10 from the 48. They run Brown again. Brown shedding off a tackler. Ball comes out. It's going to head out of bounds, luckily for Shepherd. We haven't seen the Malachi Brown fumbles, but he fumbles there. Now Jordan Barnett's going to run onto the field. Looks like a Westchester player cramping here on this near sideline.
Looks like Daniel Hicks, the 6'5", 265-pound defensive end from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Again, a little bit cooler on the field, so you're still going to have some of the issues as far as cramping is concerned. Malachi Brown checks back into the game. Had seemed like he had got over the hump, and a lot of times where it seems like he gets himself in trouble with these fumbles is where he's trying to do too much. It's like, I understand you want to be competitive, you want to go out there and fight for every inch, but sometimes if you're tackled, you're just tackled. Just go down, take the gain, live to fight another day, and that's a lot of times when you see these running backs put balls on the ground, it's because they're trying to fight for that extra half an inch when you really don't need to. You got a good gain, take what you get, come back and get it again.
They throw it to Brown here in the flat, and he has the first down. So Malachi with a good catch and run there to move the chains for the Shepherd Rams.
Delgado able to bump him out of bounds, and that's one of the things that Malachi Brown brings to your offense. Not only is he a physical runner, but also an accomplished pass catcher, being the converted wide receiver. That'll mark his 25th catch of the season out of the backfield for the Rams offense.
1st and 10 now from the Westchester 42-yard line. Morgan fake it to Barnett, throw to Batten behind the line, and Batten with a burst of speed down the sideline. Takes it inside the 30-yard line and right at the sticks, and it looks like it will be another first down for Shepherd.
That pass kind of sailed a little bit on Morgan. Again, it was close to the ground, but the wind was able to affect it a little bit. And the thing that was able to spring that play was a good block on the outside by Barry Hill at the point of attack, and Batten was able to do the rest and pick up a big first down.
So down to the 28 goes Shepherd. Morgan throwing to Taylor, complete inside the 20 to the 19-yard line goes Jeremiah Taylor for the first down. Or, I'm sorry, not the first down, but on first down to make it 2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard pickup through the air.
That was Victor Pena there on the coverage. And it's so tough because you're concerned about those big plays over the top. Shepherd has a ton of speed and athleticism on the outside, so you don't want to get burned deep. And one of the ways you can try to take that away is to play off, but that's going to open up a variety of routes underneath.
Barnett goes up the middle. Noble coming up to make the tackle. Will be a first down there on 2nd and 1. So Shepherd coming out here early, Travis. We've seen this first quarter offense for the Rams, and especially the first drive, consistently be one of their strengths throughout the season.
And most times teams will come in and have an opening script to try to, one, set the tone, and you also want to get a look and see how the defense is going to adjust to different looks. And like you mentioned, the Rams have gone out, shown that they're very comfortable in that opening script and have had a lot of success this year.
They'll run Barnett again.
Good cut.
Cutback and a good block as well from Dustin Fisher to seal that defensive end and allow Barnett to find a hole there on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down for the Rams.
And that was Isaiah McPherson coming up and making that tackle. There was a lot more room to be had, but McPherson making possibly a touchdown-saving tackle on that play. And we're mentioning how Barnett able to make that cut. That's something that you see is developing in Malachi Brown's game, just still getting used to that running back position, but it comes a little bit more natural to Barnett, who is playing at his natural position.
Looks like just a 2-yard gain. They complete the pass to Ethan Williams, who initially was going to be stopped in the backfield but finds positive yardage. Victor Pena makes the tackle there on the outside. It will bring up a third down. 9:35 to go in this opening quarter. No score, but Shepherd on its first drive and moving the ball well into Westchester territory. It'll be 3rd down and 5 after the 3-yard pickup. Hill and Taylor go the near side for the Rams. Brown is the back in the backfield. Fisher in at tight end in the H-back spot. Jester up at the line of scrimmage. They'll run play action, looking for the corner of the end zone for Barry Hill, and incomplete. And it looks like Jeremiah Taylor might have been open on that one.
He was definitely open on that one. That's something that the Rams have had a lot of success with this year, using that post-wheel concept. And when you have Taylor out wide, you have Hill in the slot, who's really emerged as a very dynamic player in that slot for the Rams. It's a tough combination to stop, and that time you could tell Westchester kind of overreacted to try to take away the wheel, and Taylor was running all by himself in the end zone. So I'm sure once they get over to the sidelines, the coaches are going to point that out to Morgan.
The 29-yard field goal from James Bozick is up and good. So Shepherd does take the early 3-0 lead. We'll take a 30-second break. Shepherd 3, Westchester 0 here on Homecoming. 9:05 to go in this first quarter. We're back at 30.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium. Our score, Shepherd 3, Westchester 0. The Rams will kick it away after the 29-yard James Bozick field goal to put Shepherd on the board here first. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, and Travis probably could have made a touchdown, but still a really good drive for Shepherd there after the 3-and-out. So it's a great start for the Rams.
Absolutely, and it's the first drive of a game. You're playing against a tough opponent. There's no reason to really put that much pressure on yourself early on in the game. Take the points. You come away with something positive and something to build on, and most importantly, you don't want to get that momentum. You don't want to get that Westchester sideline fired up. It looks like it's going to be an illegal procedure against that Rams kickoff unit, so Westchester looking to set up with some pretty good field position.
So this is a 9-play, 40-yard drive for the Rams, resulting in 3 on the James Bozick field goal from 29 yards out. Our scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
And the Rams showing some respect to the return game for Westchester. They have Deshaun Seals back there, has already made a couple big plays as far as kick returns and punt returns this year, so not wanting to give them a chance to have that big momentum play early on in the ball game. They say Bozick usually most times is able to bang it right out of the back of the end zone, but they're going a little bit more of a directional kick here to start the game.
So ball spotted at the 35-yard line after the kick going out of bounds. It'll be 1st down and 10 now for this Westchester offense. Cooper Jordan, the quarterback, again, the sophomore. We saw him a lot last year. Mainly a runner, but does have the ability to throw the football. And he'll send Seals in motion from right to left, and Jordan takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, and Shepherd is all over it. Nathan Muley leading the charge. Omari Terry coming in as well. Muley already off to a good start today, Travis.
And I understand that you want to try to stretch out that defense to try to create some lanes in the middle for that running back just to plant his foot and get north and south. But this Rams defense is so speedy to react to the football. When you do those stretch plays, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to get to the corner and turn it up for a positive gain.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. Here's a well-executed screen pass for Deshaun Jacobs, and Jacobs gets it across the 40-yard line. He's tackled in space by Miles Greer up to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and manageable now for this Westchester team. So great decision to go to the screen there on 2nd and long. Shepherd brought a blitz, and the Golden Rams executed.
Jacobs, more of the change of pace back for that Westchester offense, has earned all PSAC honors for the Westchester track team indoor and outdoor triple jump, so you know you got an explosive athlete on the field when Jacobs is out there.
3rd down and 3. Pass complete here on the near sideline. Hauling that one in was Julian Jordan. Jordan to Jordan connection there. Not certain if there's any relationship. One of them went to Bishop McDevitt, one went to Bishop Shannon. So probably not, but you never know.
It's always nice just to throw it out there.
Jordan now will run, and he's got a big lane and smartly dives forward to avoid any big contact as Naeem Alexander was coming down, and we know what he can do with hits in the open field.
And that's one of the challenges that a mobile quarterback presents. Like we mentioned, Westchester showed that Rams defense that little stretch play to the outside, so they have to try to respect the play on the edge. But then when you have a quarterback that can pull it and take it up through the middle, that's what you want to create by showing those plays to the outside.
Shepherd brings a blitz, and Jacobs that time initiating the contact. Omari Terry was there, though, to drive him out of bounds. We'll bring up a 3rd down and short for Westchester. Cooper Jordan working in the shotgun formation. It is 3-0 Rams with 6:40 to go in this opening quarter. Degree going to the outside, as well as Raheem Bowens on this 3rd and short. Jacobs remains the back. He gets the carry, dives forward. JT Komayao making the tackle, and he has the 1st down. This is Deshaun Jacobs.
Jacobs, like we mentioned, a little bit different than your typical Westchester running back. Standing at 5'10", 175 pounds is the redshirt freshman. Terry just doing a good job of coming up, taking on that pulling guard. He's given up a lot of height and weight on that play, but did enough to set the edge and drive it back inside where all his help's going to be.
Jordan takes the snap, throws over the middle a little bit high and incomplete, and off the hands of his tight end, Thatcher Miller. Doesn't get a whole lot of action in this offense, but there they looked for the tight end, and the pass was a little bit high and off his hands. It falls incomplete. It will bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 5:51 to go in this opening quarter.
And Miller, more of an inline blocker for this Westchester offense, 6'4", 230 pounds, but last year played in 11 games, had 7 starts, had 4 touchdown catches, but more importantly had the lead in the PSAC as far as average per catch, 23.8 yards per catch last year, led the PSAC, so he does have that big play potential if Westchester decides to incorporate him into the offense.
They'll run a reverse to Seals, and it's a great play there on 2nd and 10. Mike Forbes making the tackle. Deshaun Seals very much used as like that Tavon Austin type player, 5'7". So not the biggest wide receiver, but he is electric when you get him the ball in space, and there a little bit of a reverse play working.
And that was a tough play. Most reverses go to the outside, but that time it was an inside reverse, really catching that Rams defense out of position.
Jaden Williams slips trying to cut it upfield and falls down after a short gain. Elijah Queen, the one there to make the tackle, will bring up a 2nd down and 10 2nd down and 10 for Westchester, under 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Jordan looking to throw. Forbes provides the pressure. He throws underneath, complete to Bowens in space. Bowens is going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Westchester. But 2 flags come flying in, actually 3 of them on that play. So we'll see if it does come back.
Going to be a crackback block on Seth Degree. It was just a play he didn't need to make. All he had to do was really sit there and just set a pick. Bowens had a clear lane to the end zone. I realize you want to make a play for a teammate, but you don't want to hurt your team in the process of doing that. Just an unnecessary play, and certainly one of those plays that referees are trying to eliminate, just unnecessary physical part of the game nowadays.
Yeah, obviously player safety is a number one concern right now. So that illegal block will take the score off the board. It may still be a 1st down, though, on the big completion.
And that was something we didn't get a chance to get to it early on. That's going to be one of my keys of the game for Westchester, is that when you're in the red zone, you're going to have to come away with touchdowns. And then you have a play like that takes points off of the board. You realize that you're not going to have many opportunities, so you're going to have to make the most of it. And just an unfortunate play, just a teammate just trying to make a play for another teammate, but just crossed the line with the crackback block and taking points off the board for Westchester.
So it'll be a 2nd and 3 as they keep it on the ground and run Jacobs that time. Shepherd's defense getting after it. Jack Baxter in on that tackle, as well as a few others. It will be just about a yard short of the first down marker. 3rd and 1, excuse me, I should say. After the 2nd and 3 carry goes for 2. And Westchester brings in its heavy package. Looking for embracing their local Philadelphia Eagles with the push play here on 3rd and 1.
And again, able to push the pile forward.
Get that first down, I believe.
Get that first down, move the chains. Referees don't have to pull the chain gang out to make a decision on that play. But again, Westchester still having that opportunity to come away with points, but it's something where you certainly don't want to have to settle for a field goal when you consider the type of wind that you're going to have to be kicking into that open side of the stadium. And certainly you just won't want to miss out on an opportunity to score a touchdown against a tough opponent like Shepherd.
3:30 to go. Jacobs is the back, and he'll get the carry. Jacobs accelerating up the middle inside the 5-yard line. Brutus and in on that tackle.
Westchester, so far, the offense doing a very good job of setting their plays up. They've shown a couple plays to the edge using that stretch play, almost a buck sweep action where you have both of those guards pulling to the play side. And again, that does play to the strength of that Shepherd defense, but what you want to do is show them that type of play so they have to respect it. And what you're trying to do is get that defense to stretch from sideline to sideline. That's going to create lanes like Jacobs was just able to take advantage of on that previous play.
They will run Jacobs again. He gets a good block, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Westchester. Golden Rams take the early 6-3 lead over Shepherd here with 2:42 to go in this opening quarter.
Jacobs running behind his big left guard on that play. Kalen Krasley, the redshirt sophomore, standing at 6'3", 310 pounds, showing some good mobility in tight space. Was able to create a lane for his running back, and Jacobs able to do the rest.
The extra point here from Sean Henry, who handles both the kicking and punting duties for this team, and his extra point is good. So Westchester 7, Shepherd 3, 2:42 to go in this first quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. A beautiful day for football here. A great crowd on hand as well for homecoming between Shepherd and Westchester. The Golden Rams take the 7-3 lead on that Jacobs touchdown run. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Kickoff goes short to Malachi Brown. Brown gets across the 25-yard line up toward the 30 before he's pushed out of bounds. Looked like Victor Pena coming over to make that tackle. Will be 1st and 10 for Shepherd. Our first quarter brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm. Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. First down and 10 here for Seth Morgan in the offense. 2:36 to go in this first quarter. Ball on the 29-yard line. Pass is complete to Jeremiah Taylor, who sheds off a tackler, gets out toward the 40, and should have enough for the first down.
That was Obi Anyatanwu on the coverage, the 6'1", 195-pound redshirt senior transfer coming over from IUP. And we talked about some of the injuries in that Rams secondary, Shepherd that is. Looking at Westchester, they're also missing one of their stars in the secondary, and Sterling Barr, the redshirt senior, coming into today's ball game, had 3 interceptions, but standing on the sideline in street clothes today, so we won't see him out there.
Good job by this defense of Westchester as Delgado is there to swallow up Cordell Batten. No gain on the play. Bring up 2nd and 10, maybe even a loss of 1 on that one, depending on where they spot it. 1:45 to go in this opening quarter. It will be 2nd down and 11. Delgado just setting that edge on an effective play for Shepherd last week, usually with Barry Hill. That time they run it for Batten. It doesn't work out, so now the Rams forced to throw on 2nd and 11. Morgan under some pressure, throws a bullet over the middle, but incomplete. He wanted Barry Hill. Pena in coverage, and it will bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd down and 11 for Shepherd.
And again, Hill had him beat on the post. He didn't get behind the defender, but one of the things that a quarterback can do when throwing that post route, if that corner is playing over the top, or a lot of times it's a safety, you want to try to lead the wide receiver across the field and make it a foot race, but just a little bit of pressure up front, making Seth Morgan get rid of the ball a bit quicker than what he wanted, not able to put the ball on target for Hill, who was open if he was able to lead him across the field.
Morgan throws far sideline, complete to Barry Hill. Hill has room and has a 1st down and more deep into Westchester territory, down to the 23-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds. 1st down, Rams. A big completion there on 3rd down, and actually down to the 29, is where they pushed him out. But
Shane Mosley. Yeah, Shane Mosley was the last defender there. If Hill was able to get past him, he didn't have anything in front of him. And again, we talked about teams being concerned with the speed and athleticism outside have to play off, and that just opens up an entire route tree underneath, and Hill was able to take advantage that time.
Morgan under pressure, and he's going to be sacked back at the 40-yard line. There's Dail on that one. The big sack.
The big defensive tackle coming into today's ball game, having 24 tackles, 5 of those solo, and that'll make his 3rd sack of the season. And you see Westchester dialing up a lot of pressure, and that's going to be something that's going to be important for that Westchester team to do today, is get after the quarterback, and most importantly, I think they're going to need to force a turnover. That offense for Westchester, they're going to need an extra possession, and they're going to need that defense to really serve it up for them. So
2nd and 18, final 18 seconds of this opening quarter. This time Morgan all day throws over the middle, incomplete, a dangerous pass intended for Jeremiah Taylor. Victor Pena again in coverage will bring up a 3rd and 18 for Shepherd. They will have to run a play before the end of this first quarter with just 12.7 seconds left, but the clock stopped.
And good coverage the past couple of plays by Westchester, making Seth Morgan hold on to the ball a little bit longer than he would have liked. He tried to direct some traffic over the middle, but that's one of the things that you can't do as a quarterback, is throw a pass late over the middle. So Taylor doing a good job just to bat it down on the turf.
Morgan looking deep down the middle of the field for Taylor. It's caught! Touchdown, Shepherd! Jeremiah Taylor beat his man on a post route, and that time Morgan delivered on the post. Touchdown, Shepherd, on a 3rd and 18 from the 37-yard line. And the Rams regain the lead now at 9-7 with just 6.5 seconds to go in this opening quarter.
And the Rams really attacking that safety. That was Mosley on the play, making him make a decision. Instead of that post wheel, it was a double post, making that safety to make a decision. Are you going to take the inside guy or the outside guy? He hesitates, and that was just enough for Morgan to squeeze it into Taylor for that first touchdown of the game for the Rams offense.
The extra point from Bozick is perfect, and it is 10-7 Shepherd with 6.5 seconds to go in this first quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. 10-7 our score in favor of Shepherd here as we get just about ready for the second quarter. Bozik's kickoff this time will be fielded, bobbled, and now picked up off the turf. Cole Scott going to run down. Miles Greer finishing it off on the tackle, and it'll be tough field position here for the Golden Rams to begin the second quarter. We'll get you your scoring drive summary as well as our second quarter sponsors on the other side of this 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Our score, Shepherd 10, Westchester 7. We're back in 1 minute.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
37-yard touchdown pass from Seth Morgan to Jeremiah Taylor puts the Rams back up on Westchester here 10-7 right before the end of the first quarter. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Pass underneath is complete, and a good catch on that one for Westchester. Hauling it in was Zach Gillen, the redshirt freshman from Easton, Pennsylvania. First down and 10 for the Golden Rams. Or, I'm sorry, going to be a second and 1. Only 9 yards on that play. So ball spotted now at the 29-yard line. Or 24. Jordan hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs gets close. He should be able to have the first down on that one as he spun back inside.
That time looks like Mujahid Johnson coming up on that tackle. Looked like it was more of I think he took a loss on that play. Loss of 2 on that play. Again, Shepherd so tough to the outside, but Westchester has shown that they are willing to run those type of plays and maybe get a no gain or possibly take a gain because they're trying to set up those running lanes to the middle. So we can see that probably later on in this drive if Westchester is able to convert, that you see the quarterback pull it on one of those plays and try to exploit one of those open lanes up in the middle.
Lost 3, so 3rd down and 4. Pass complete to Mitchell underneath. He's tackled by Singleton and O'Neal across the 30-yard line. That will finally be the first down for Westchester as they move it to the 32. And the Golden Rams will continue this drive.
And Miller able to haul it in. Again, a talented tight end when he's used in the offense. Just sometimes he disappears from time to time for the Golden Rams.
We'll run Jacobs. And Jacobs has a good lane, tackled by O'Neal across the 35-yard line. I haven't seen too much of Dwayne Grantham today. Not certain if he's dealing with another injury or what the case may be, but I don't know if I've seen him out there at all. So
no, not at all. Usually he has on his signature pink glove, so he kind of stands out when he's out there on the field, but looks like O'Neal is going to get the nod to be the man in the middle with JT Komayao.
6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4 for the Golden Rams. Jordan throwing underneath, complete. Seals in space, and Seals gets it across the 40 before he's brought down on the play.
Look like it's going to be close to a first down for Westchester. And again, motioning Seals out of the backfield. They're hoping to get him matched up on a linebacker, and they wanted that linebacker to go out there in space and back off and give him plenty of space, and Westchester was able to take advantage of that, did a screen, and there was a whole convoy of blockers in front of him, but hats off to that Rams defensive unit, able to close quickly. They weren't able to keep him short of the line to gain, but not giving him, which looked like it could have been a very big gain that time for Seals.
First down and 10. Play action. Jordan under heat. Avoids the sack. No, Nathan Muley doing a great job sticking with that play to bring down Cooper Jordan in the backfield for the sack. There'll be a loss on the play and now set up a second and long for the Golden Rams.
See, Westchester was thinking the way I was thinking. You move Muley outside, you know you're going to get pressure, but he may not be as fleet of foot as you would like for a guy playing on the edge to try to keep contained. The Westchester made a bet on that play, and they lost that bet because Muley was able to, one, maintain his depth on that play, didn't want to give up that edge, and did a good job of bringing down a very speedy and elusive quarterback in space.
Loss of 8 on the play, second down and 18. Jordan under pressure again, the screen pass underneath to Jacobs. Jacobs fighting and getting out to about the 44 before he's brought down by Cole Scott.
And that seems what Westchester likes to do. That's the second time that in a very similar scenario where they take a loss on first down and then they come back on second down with a screen pass to the running back.
This will be about a 3rd and 7 for the Golden Rams here. Jordan in the shotgun. Jacobs is the back, trips to the near side. And Jordan looking to throw. Looking deep. Far sideline for Bowens, and it's incomplete. Bowens was running deep down the field. Naeem Alexander in coverage, and that will bring up a 4th down and 7 here with 10:27 to go in this second quarter. 10-7 Shepherd, and Westchester will be forced to punt. Henry will do the punting. Miles Greer standing back at the 15-yard line for the Rams.
And Cooper showing you his arm strength, so you have to respect his ability as a passer, and that's one of the things that makes him so tough to account for when he has the ball in his hands, because he can hurt you in a variety of ways.
Greer will let it bounce, and it takes a Shepherd bounce and rolls out of bounds at the 26-yard line, so the Rams will have good or solid field position here to begin this drive. Our second quarter is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. 1st and 10 from the 26. Barnett is the back here. Shepherd with the 2 receivers to the far side. That is Hill and Taylor. Of course, Morgan in at quarterback, and Fisher lined up almost right under center as they'll go for Morgan here, Barnett. And Barnett carries the ball forward across the 30-yard line before he's brought down on the play.
And you can just see the difference and just their ability to be comfortable making those quick decisions between Barnett and Brown. Brown is getting better. You're starting to see that improvement. Not so much on the big plays, but on the plays where you got to grind out to get the 2 or 3 yard gain. Barnett much more comfortable making those quick decisions in space, and that time just getting his foot in the ground, getting north and south, and picking up a chunk on first down.
2nd and 5. Morgan looking over the middle for Taylor, and it's just incomplete. In coverage for Westchester was Shane Mosley. Sounds like the Shepherd fans might have wanted a flag.
I think that was good defense on that one.
Yeah, looked like pretty good coverage to me as well.
Mosley, like we mentioned, defensive back, 6 foot, 205 pounds, and he looks all of it. I think they may have undersold him a little bit on that. He looks like a linebacker back there in coverage and doing a good job. And Rams very dangerous whenever they're able to get Taylor and Hill on the same side. They've already shown that look a couple times today and scored a touchdown on it earlier.
3rd down and 5. Morgan underneath, low pass caught by Batten. Batten still going. Batten finally knocked down at the 30-yard line by Mosley. A big catch and run from the freshman. Cordell batted.
And the Rams giving Westchester a lot of problems with those multiple wide receiver looks to one side of the field. Right now, it doesn't look like Westchester has found the combination or the coverage that they're comfortable with in trying to take away those multiple wide receiver looks. And the Rams right now are just killing that Westchester defense with those type of formations.
1st and 10 from the 31. Here's Barnett. Barnett sheds off a tackler, finds positive yardage. Going to take the whole front 7 to bring him down. The big back for the Rams, the transfer from Southern Utah.
And Maurice Beverly was the first defender to try to bring down Barnett unsuccessfully. The 6 foot, 215-pound sophomore from Philadelphia, PA. And that's tough. You're in the hole one-on-one with a running back the size of Barnett. And he was not able to bring down the big banger for the Shepherd football team.
Yeah, I thought it was only going to be maybe a yard on the gain, but it ends up being 4. Now Barnett this time, a big run, cuts it back. Jordan Barnett, still going inside the 5-yard line. Jordan Barnett, just incredible on that run.
Again, and you're just starting to see him be more and more comfortable in this Rams offense. They're able to incorporate him into a variety of ways that time. They've already set him up. You know he's tough inside the tackles, even in between the guards, actually. That time running him a little bit more off tackle, and that's so tough to try to stop a big physical running back when he's able to make those plays off tackle. And that Rams offensive line just doing a good job of getting a good push up front to create some running space.
Feed Barnett. This time Westchester there to make the tackle. Coming up and laying that boom was Shane Mosley. Bring up a 2nd down and goal. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and goal from the 4. Barnett remains the back. Hill is the receiver to the near side. Here's the Wildcat. Barnett following his blockers, now bounces it outside, reaches for the end zone, touchdown Shepherd. Jordan Barnett on the Wildcat run extends the Rams lead to 16-7 with 7:14 to go in this second quarter.
You see the Westchester coaching staff very animated on the sidelines, and you can read their lips. They're screaming at those defensive backs, you've got to come up. You've got to be a presence on the edge to try to keep him inside. And that time, Barnett, like we mentioned, very physical in between the tackles, but showing some nifty ability to get to the edge and running outside. And those defensive backs, they didn't want any of that smoke on that play.
Yeah, I was going to say, easier said than done to come up and hit the big back of the Rams. 17-7, Shepherd after the extra point is good. 7:14 to go in this second quarter. We're back in 30 seconds.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back here to Shepherdstown after the 4-yard touchdown run by Jordan Barnett. It's Shepherd 17, Westchester 7. Just over 7 minutes to go in this first half. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. James Bozick to kick it away for the Rams, who have extended their lead out to 10. And the kickoff goes short, fielded by Jacobs on the move, and Jacobs may have a lane, but still going. Jacobs finally brought down across the 40-yard line again. It is Cole Scott on the tackle on special teams for Shepherd, and we will see this Westchester offense, Travis. Seems like they've been able to move the ball into Shepherd territory, but not really finish those drives.
Yeah, they've had some success early on, but again, once you find something that you're able to take advantage of against that Shepherd defense, they're going to quickly adjust. That's something that you can really just take your hat off to that Rams defensive unit, is that they have a high football IQ, and you couple that with just a relentless attack of the football and that speed, they're a very tough unit. So once you're able to find some success, you're going to have to evolve with the game because you're not going to be able to go back to the well too often. And look like it's going to be a false start on everybody on Westchester's side of the ball. A miscommunication between the quarterback and the center. They just called it on 64. They could have called it on anybody on the defensive side of the ball.
It might have been like a snap infraction, but maybe the center went early. I'm not certain there. But either way, it was, yeah, because 64 is the center. So either way, penalty will back them up here. Jordan's going to take the snap under center. Run Jacobs. And Jacobs doesn't find any room.
And that's tough. It looked like Cooper had a hard time. Cooper Jordan had a hard time getting a handle on that football. You go from lining up in shotgun and pistol all game long, and then you go under center. You're not getting a lot of reps under center, so sometimes that quarterback-center exchange is going to be a little bit messed up, and something just a bobbled ball like that is going to be enough to disrupt that timing. And like we mentioned, you don't want to give the extra step to that Rams defense because they're going to make you pay.
Jordan now throwing over the middle, high and incomplete. Thatcher Miller, the intended receiver. Right there was Omari Terry, though. Even if he hauled it in, he would have made it very difficult to
and you could tell
hold on to it.
Thatcher knew Terry was back there, so he gave him a quick glance before he put his hands up there. He put his hands up there for show because he knew Omari Terry was going to barbecue them ribs if he tried to bring that pass in. So Terry just letting him know, I'm here, big fella. If you want to try to make that catch over the middle, you're going to have to pay a price.
6:28 to go in this first half. Jordan trying to find something. Still going. Goes deep down the field for Julian Jordan, but the pass looked like he was mainly just throwing that one away as it falls incomplete. And fourth down now and 13, and Westchester will be forced to punt.
And you got to say good job to that Westchester offensive line on that play, not getting a holding penalty. A lot of times when those quarterbacks are scrambling around and the play gets off schedule like that, it's very likely that your offensive line is going to get a holding penalty, so you don't want to back yourself up any further when you got to punt the ball away on 4th and 12.
So Greer will go back to return.
Almost blocked.
Was nearly blocked, but Shepherd will field it. Miles Greer
Shepherd
lost
got
it,
it
but Naeem Alexander was luckily right there to recover that fumble.
Again, Greer, you could just see the special teams unit. You could tell just how confident they are and just how eager they are to try to make a play. Most teams in most situations, you're going to ask your punt returner, just call for the fair catch. We're getting the ball back with good field position. Let the offense make the plays. But Greer just chomping at the bit to try to make a play for his team, put the ball on the ground, and luckily for him, Naeem Alexander, a outstanding special teams player in his own right, was able to collect the muffed punt, and the Rams able to set up with pretty good field position.
So Seth Morgan and the Shepherd offense back on the field from the 21-yard line. They will run Malachi Brown. Brown with a spin move. Going to be brought down.
Connor Noble.
On the play, Noble coming up and making that hit.
Like, you got to get a body on him. He just has such a tremendous instinct to locate the ball. The Rams able to pull around. They had the kick-out block. They had the load block, but what you didn't have was a body on Noble, and he's able to bring down Malachi Brown with a minimal gain on the play.
Yeah, only a gain of 1. We'll bring up 2nd down and 9 here. 5:40 to go in this quick-moving first half between Shepherd and Westchester. Play action for Morgan. Rolling to the left. Under pressure and brought down. Coming in there for Westchester was McCain. But Noble, I believe, also.
Noble supplied that initial pressure.
Yeah. Made it tough for Morgan to get back to the line. It actually will be a sack. It will be a 3rd down and 11 now on the loss of 1 on the play. So far the Rams haven't gone anywhere on this drive. And this is a big drive for the Westchester defense. Shepherd gets the ball to start the second half, so You don't want to go down 24-7 at halftime to this team. Morgan throwing over the middle, complete to Jeremiah Taylor. He gets upfield, has the first down across the 40, and now brought down up to the 45-yard line. Noble making the tackle, but it's a big catch and run for Jeremiah Taylor. And give credit to that Shepherd offensive line, giving Morgan the time to scan the field and find his favorite target.
Yeah, he was able to go practically through all of his progressions on that play. You mentioned the big guys up front able to give him that time. The Westchester secondary doing a good job. You realized a couple times that Morgan has been harassed in the backfield is because there's been great coverage on the back end, and that time the Rams offensive line able to withstand the onslaught.
Malachi Brown gets a big block from Fisher, and he is still going. Brown inside the 20, inside the 10, reaches for the end zone and tackled inside the 5-yard line. But that was partially due to the excellent block from Dustin Fisher, and that opened up a huge hole for the speedy Malachi Brown. 3:44 to go. These tight ends, they may not catch a lot of footballs, but they...
Did you say Dustin Fisher? I think he might have used up all of his eligibility. Oh, yeah, the running back. Okay,
yeah,
I got you. Okay.
Don't try to correct me.
I'm like, hold up, that guy's not out there anymore. It's the other Fisher.
Well, they are brothers.
Yes, all right.
They'll run Malachi up the middle. And Delgado comes up and makes the tackle. Yeah, Joey Fisher, he certainly made his fair share of good blocks, but Dustin Tank Fisher, I'll just call him Tank.
There we go. All right, I like that.
That's what they call him, so I'll just stick to that. And I mean, he makes some big blocks. And what I was trying to say was the tight ends, not known for catching a lot of passes this year, but they both, him and Jester and before he got hurt, Jack Rosnage, all did a great job blocking for this team. They will run Malachi up the middle this time, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. 23-7 Shepherd. 2:42 to go in this second quarter.
This is probably the best, most balanced offensive attack that we've seen out of this Rams ball club so far this year. A great job of mixing run and pass, using play-action pass to hit wide-open targets. The offensive line giving the quarterback extra time to look downfield and let those wide receivers break open. The Rams right now, the offense, banging on all cylinders.
Extra point is up and good. Shepherd 24, Westchester 7. 2:42 to go in this second quarter. We're back at 30 seconds. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Malachi Brown starting to establish himself on the ground, a part of a big day for the Shepherd Rams in terms of running the football, and so far just a big day in general. 24-7, our score of just over 242 or just 2:42 to go in this first half of play. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. James Bozick will kick it away. And we will see what the Westchester offense can do. It's a squib kick on the ground, and this is excellent. This is going to roll all the way into the end zone, but it could have even been trouble depending on what kind of bounce it took on that turf if Shepherd could have got down there. But either way, a really well-executed kick from Bozick. You'll take a touchback when you're trying to avoid a return.
Yeah, Jacobs has shown that he's very capable of making some big plays with the ball in his hand, so you want to eliminate that possibility. And again, this Rams special teams unit continues to make plays for this Rams ball club throughout this year, just in a variety of ways. Not only big returns, big hits on special teams, blocking kicks, plays of that nature. And this Rams special teams unit has really been shining all year long.
Yeah, and the wind has obviously been a big factor today. Now Westchester's in a position where they have to throw the football, and that pass is complete underneath to Seth Degree. Degree tackled on the play by Queen. Good catch and run there for Degree, but I wasn't certain how Shepherd would come out and attack things because we can see it right now. The wind is picking up quite a bit. Seth Morgan has had a good day, but this running game, it started last week in the rain. I feel like they found an identity on the ground, and that's continued into this game. Here's Jordan, pass in and out of the hands of Bowens and incomplete. Gianni Gamble, the man in coverage, and now this Westchester team that wants to run the ball, and that's been their dominant thing all season. They really haven't been able to, and they're down 17. There's still over 2 minutes to go in this first half. Shepherd could get another score before halftime, and they get the ball to start the second half. So, things just not going Westchester's way at all in terms of their game plan and probably what they wanted to come in and do today.
And that's been one of the strengths of this Rams ball club over the years, is really just getting teams out of their primary game plan and making them
lost the football, and Shepherd has it.
Looks like Miles Greer with the recovery. He's getting his fumble back. There you go. You can go out there and make a mistake. That's one way you can get back on the coach's good side, is you go out there and make a play and make up for that mistake.
Looked like Richie Aguilar came up and knocked it out of the hands of Cooper Jordan, the quarterback for Westchester. And we talked about in the pregame, turnovers have been the thing that's held Jordan back this season. 9 interceptions coming into the game here. He fumbles in his own territory with his team down 17 and just over 2 minutes to go. Shepherd in an excellent chance to really pull away in this one with Malachi Brown, the back. They'll throw it to Hill, and Hill couldn't quite haul it in. He would have had one-on-one between Hill and Pena, and that could have been a big play for Shepherd if that pass was a little bit more on target.
Because that was a good block by Taylor out there on the edge. And looking back at Cooper Jordan, you trust him as a runner. You realize he has that ability. But once you've made that decision where you're not going to throw it and you're going to run, you got to tuck that ball away. At that point, you become a running back, and you got to secure that football.
Shepherd looking for that wheel route. It's not there. It's incomplete. Tight coverage, but the pass falling incomplete.
The Rams trying to show a bit of a wrinkle off of that post wheel concept. That time on the post, the wide receiver chose to sit down in the soft spot of the zone, and Morgan was just a little bit late in getting the ball back. It was potentially a dangerous play, because you have those plays like hitches or snags or on that post where he's going to go ahead and do a curl at the end of it. You have to hit that one time because you give that defender a chance to make a play.
Rams are going to burn a timeout. We will take a 30-second break. It's Shepherd 24, Westchester 7, 152 to go in this first half. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back at 30.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Accord Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
We welcome you back here to Shepherdstown, Ram Stadium, homecoming between Shepherd and Westchester. And so far, it looks like it will be a happy homecoming for the Rams. It is Shepherd 24, Westchester 7. Seth Morgan, the quarterback, Malachi Brown to his right. 3 receivers set for the Rams. Taylor, the one up top, and that's where they look to throw, but a flag coming in and a false start against Shepherd will move this one back.
That's a bit frustrating. You call a timeout to try to get everybody on the same page, and then you come out and get a penalty on the ensuing play, and the Rams, having all the momentum on their side, getting the turnover and good field position, the offense has been in reverse, and we haven't seen that much today. This Rams offense has really been on point so far, so having a chance, you can tell that they're really trying to go for that knockout shot to close out the first half, just getting a little bit anxious with the ball in their hands and making some uncharacteristic mistakes so far today.
Morgan under some heat. And he's going to be sacked. Good job by Morgan to tuck it away. Coming up and making the sack was Connor Noble. And that will bring up a 4th down as Morgan felt that pressure and brought that football in, which was
good pocket
decision.
awareness, and he just must have just huge hands because
Yeah.
some of the hits that he takes, and he just does not put the ball on the ground.
Seth Morgan standing at 6'3", 215 pounds. I haven't measured his hands yet.
There we go. That's something you guys got to get in on. We need some info on that.
They'll do it at the combine.
There we go.
Right? Shepherd, NFL quarterback factory. Tyson Bajan, of course, expected to make his first career NFL start tomorrow for the Chicago Bears. Looking forward to it, Travis. We obviously saw all the records that Tyson broke here, not only at Shepherd, but just NCAA records. And we have high expectations, but I guess the one criticism of him coming out, or a criticism, could have been his hand size wasn't the ideal size that they look for. But hey, he earned a second string job, which was a shocking thing, I think, for most people outside of this area that didn't know anything about Tyson Bajan, and he's got a great opportunity tomorrow. So excited to see how he performs.
Earn that starting job, and more importantly, I think has earned the respect of his teammates, and that's due in no small part to just he has a blue-collar work ethic. And that was one of the things that we know, having a chance to cover him over the years, that was something that you knew he was going to be the first guy in the building and the last guy to leave, and that's something that's going to endear him to a locker room full of grown men.
Ryan Barrick with his first punt today, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. Barrick had a big week last week against Millersville. And Justin Fields out right now with a thumb injury, and the Bears are struggling, so if Bajan plays well, you never know what could happen.
So you look at the success that Brock Purdy has had with San Francisco. You've seen some of the quarterbacks have success that come from smaller schools over the years. So certainly has the possibility. The physical tools are there. So, and again, the work ethic is there, the physical tools are there, and you just need that little bit of luck. Just need that little bit of a spark to get things going in the right direction for him.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't come out and dominate or anything, but if he can go out there and play well and earn a long-term backup job, that would be surprising considering where his career started. Being undrafted is such a tough thing to do to have success.
And possibly open some doors for some other athletes down the road to possibly get a second look.
Here's a pass complete underneath. Cole Scott again in on the tackle as we get back to live action here. Minute 15 to go in this first half. Our score, Shepherd 24, Westchester 7. And an important last drive before halftime as Westchester trying to get down the field here and make this a little bit closer before the half. That one intended for Mitchell and incomplete, as the Rams offense was unable to take advantage of the turnover.
Right now, neither team, it seemed like we were zipping through that first half pretty fast, and now we've kind of grinded to a halt. Nobody's really chewing up a lot of clock here at the end of the first half, so very real possibility that the Rams could get the ball back again on offense with a good amount of time still left on the clock.
Yeah, both teams have 2 timeouts, 1:03 to go in this first half, and a whistle again here from the officials. And there, Shepherd's going to burn one, so the clock was already stopped. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. 24-7 our score. Shepherd on top of Westchester.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. It is Shepherd 24, Westchester 7. It's a 3rd down and 5 here for the Golden Rams. Shepherd now with just, I believe, 1 timeout left. Westchester has 2. And we got 3rd down and 5 here, Travis.
And decision time for Westchester. Do you run the ball and try to force Shepherd into burning that last timeout, or do you take a shot and try to make the most of this opportunity on offense.
They're going to go for a QB draw. And Jordan's got a big hole. He'll slide down across the 35-yard line and has the first down. I think that's a good play call because the last thing you want to do is give the ball back to Shepherd. Now you still put yourself in a position to at least try to get into field goal range here before halftime. Jordan will look to throw again. He's looking deep and incomplete on the far sideline. He wanted Bowens. Sean Henry, as I mentioned earlier, handles both the kicking and punting for this team. He is 6 of 9 on the season, but his lawn is just 34 yards. He's 0 for 1 when kicking from 40 to 49 yards, so not necessarily a big leg. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities, though, for longer field goals. 2nd down and 10 here with 50 seconds to go. Jordan rolling out. He gets hit as he throws. Cole Scott again. He's had a heck of a day for Shepherd, filling in for an injured Dwayne Grantham in that linebacker rotation with Koma Yao and Harold O'Neal. And Scott has done a lot of good things, not only on defense but on special teams as well, Travis.
Making the most of his opportunity, so now that's going to let those coaches trust you that much more, realizing that, hey, if we put this guy in, we can expect him to make plays, so that's going to expand that rotation, and that's something that you want to do throughout the course of the year because as you get closer and closer to postseason play, possibly for this Rams ball club, now you know you got a guy that you can rely on, that you can trust to go out there on the field and make plays.
3rd and 10, Jordan looking toward the near sideline and held in by Seals. Johnson nearly knocked that one away. And again, it's a big conversion on 3rd and long. The 5'7" Seals going up and making the catch.
Making the contested catch.
Yes. It was a good attempt. It was almost intercepted. It could have even been with the way that ball kind of hung up in the air. Johnson got over there, but Seals hauls it in, and now Westchester does have an opportunity to score here before halftime with 39 seconds to go and back-to-back 3rd downs, but that one's intercepted right into the hands of Gianni Gamble. Gamble down the sideline trying to make a play. He's brought down at the 35-yard line. The 10th interception thrown of the season for Cooper Jordan. And
he's trying to force the ball in.
Second turnover today. Gianni Gamble with his 2nd pick of the season.
The ball hit him right between the 3 and the 0. That time Jordan Cooper was trying to go to Raheem Bowens and just put a little bit too much on it. We talked about the wind a little bit, but on this side of the field it doesn't look like there's much wind. The wind is more towards the open side of the stadium. You can see the flags over there going crazy. On this side of the field, not so much. And it just looks like his timing is just a little bit off. You could see the wide receiver was a little bit frustrated on that play because it just looks like he's just a second too soon or a second too late. Just something with the timing is not quite there.
Morgan looking for a deep shot, and it's hauled in by Barry Hill on a contested catch. Victor Pena in coverage. Hill didn't let it bother him. Clock stops on the 1st down inside of 2 minutes. Morgan running up to the line. He'll spike the football, but a whistle before the snap, I believe, and a timeout for Westchester. I bet they wish they didn't burn that.
I imagine they didn't like the matchup that they had out there on the field, so it was kind of choose your own fate on that one. It's like, do we risk giving up another touchdown at the end of this half, or do we burn our timeout and make sure that we have the right personnel out there on the field? And something that you're starting to see today is that the Rams are really doing a good job of attacking over the middle of the field. We saw early on the Rams were just over-reliant on making those vertical plays down the sideline, but that's not really to Morgan's strength. Really doesn't have that big arm to bomb the ball over the top, and you started to see teams make adjustments and make it tougher for Morgan. And what's opened up the playbook for this Rams offense is that they're attacking more in between the hashes, and when you're able to mix that into your offensive attack, that's going to start to open up things to the sidelines and make those throws that much easier for Morgan. But you could tell Morgan very comfortable making those precision throws over the middle, working in between the hashes.
So it'll still be 1st down as the spike doesn't happen, essentially, because of the timeout taken by Westchester. And Morgan will look to throw here at 24 seconds to go. He looks for the corner of the end zone for Batten, incomplete. Flag coming in, though, in the secondary, so we'll see if this will go against the Golden Rams.
Looks like it's going to be a holding on Westchester on that play. The Rams just doing that corner route to the back of the end zone, and you could tell at the top of the route the defender got a little bit handsy with the wide receiver and just denied him a path to the ball.
So Rams working toward the end zone. This will give them 5 extra yards.
That was Maurice Beverly was the guilty party on that play. And again, the Rams have just really hurt Westchester just with their offensive formations. They've been able to attack them successfully with those formations. Most of the time, it's that multiple wide receiver set that Westchester's had a hard time trying to get a handle on.
First and goal from the 7 now. Morgan looking to the corner for Batten.
Same play.
Touchdown, Shepherd.
Same play, just to the other side of the field. A little bit more room to work on that wide side of the field. You remember, Josh Gontarek made a incredible catch in that back part of the end zone.
Batten there with arguably a tougher catch than one Gontarek made, but a little bit less stakes on it. 15 seconds to go. 30-7, Shepherd. Didn't expect a blowout here today, but that's what we have so far. Is this extra point is up and good, and it is all Rams here on homecoming. 31-7. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Shepherd 31, Westchester 7. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District, as Cordell Batten hauls in the touchdown pass from Seth Morgan from 7 yards out. After the Gianni Gamble interception return, setting up Shepherd, a big pass to Barry Hill. And James Bozick will kick it away. Again, he goes that squib kick. This time Westchester's able to field it. And Jacobs gets it in his hands. Gets it across the 35 before he's brought down. Just 10 seconds to go here before halftime. And Travis, we're not shocked that Shepherd's in the lead or anything like that, but I would say 31-7 at halftime is pretty shocking.
Yeah, coming in, we talked about the weather, the wind, going to limit the type of plays that you can do down the field as far as the passing game is concerned. But what the Rams have been able to do and have so much consistent success is being able to run the ball, really just a balanced attack on the offensive side of the ball for Shepherd. Probably one of the better performances that we've seen so far just here in the first half. So the Rams really executing their game plan well today.
And Westchester will just take a knee here before halftime. And we'll head to the halftime with it being all Shepherd. 31-7. Let's take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the halftime show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you into the halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith here at halftime. Our on-site crew, Matt and Daryl Miller. And back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin here on this Saturday. Shepherd 31, Westchester 7. Travis, a dominating first half. We talked about the balance for the Rams. We talked about as well during that first half. The defense for Shepherd has just played really well, continuing to get better week to week. And Shepherd has won some games recently by double digits. Started the year with a lot of one-score games, close games. But this is the first time that they've just come out and dominated somebody this season. So just as an entire team, Shepherd coming together here on homecoming for their best performance of the year so far.
And you mentioned that last week playing in inclement weather versus a very tough opponent in Millersville really seemed to settle in and find their identity. Now you're starting to see that running game being a more consistent part of the offense, and that has only just helped the offense flourish that much more, because not only are they able to really wear down the opposing defensive front, they're able to eat up clock, and most importantly, protect the quarterback. They're staying on schedule. It opens up play-action pass. It just really opens up the entire playbook when the Rams are able to run the ball as effectively as they have today. This has been one of their best complete performances so far this week and this year, and they're going up against a quality opponent, Westchester. They're not one of the more dominant teams in the PSAC anymore, but they are a quality opponent, and it looked like it was going to be a pretty tough game early on. But now we're starting to get back to what we saw last year out of Shepherd, where they were able to put up so many points in such a hurry. It really just kind of spooks opposing teams out of their original game plan. We know Westchester likes to keep the ball on the ground, eat up clock, and that was something that Kutztown was able to have success doing against this Rams team. But now they're not able to do that, and they're putting their young quarterback in a difficult situation in Cooper Jordan. He's already had 2 turnovers here in the first half, and that was something that we knew was an issue with him coming into today's game. Again, just an errant pass that got picked off. Another time he was scrambling around in the pocket and just did not secure the football and put the ball on the ground. So Westchester, 2 turnovers, a couple untimely penalties here and there has not helped their case today, and the Rams are just taking full advantage. And again, this is the best performance that we've seen out of this Rams ball club and Shepherd so far this season, and they're really just beginning to hit their stride at a very important part of the year.
Yeah, Shepherd all over Westchester here at halftime. Again, our score, Shepherd 31, Westchester 7. We don't currently have any first half stats for you, but when and if we are given those, we will get those to you. But we will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, who will have some halftime scores for you from across the PSAC, as well as Division I and Division II college football. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back on the other side of this break with Colin at halftime.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. At the half between the Shepherd Rams and the Westchester Golden Rams, it's Shepherd 31, Westchester 7 on Shepherd homecoming day. So a great start for our Rams here so far. Let's now take a look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Only one other game currently at halftime just like ours, and that is Clarion leading Edinboro by a score of 21-7 at the half. Some other scores games currently in action as they kicked off at 1 o'clock. It is Kutztown leading Lockhaven 7-0, and still scoreless between Millersville and Shippensburg with 7:12 to go in quarter number 1. Some other scores around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. It's still scoreless between California PA and number 7 Slippery Rock, as Slippery Rock trying to remain undefeated. And then one other game currently in action here in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference that has 9 minutes 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. It's East Stroudsburg leading Bloomsburg by a score of 7-0. Two other games will take place later today, those kicking off at 3 p.m. That is Gannon at Mercyhurst and IUP at Seton Hill. Let's now take a look at some scores within NCAA Top 25 action. Only 3 games currently taking place in the Top 25 of Division I, and they're all low scoring so far here early on. Second quarter, 9:20 to go. It is number 7 Penn State 3 and number 3 Ohio State 3. So that tied right now in the second quarter with field goals apiece for the Nittany Lions and the Buckeyes. 5:47 to go in the second quarter. It is UCF on the road right now, tied with number 6 Oklahoma at 7 apiece. And with 3:08 to go in quarter number 2, it's number 22 Air Force trying to remain undefeated as they lead 7-0 right now over Navy. Kicking off at 3:30, you have Washington State at number 9 Oregon, number 17 Tennessee at number 11 Alabama, South Carolina's at number 20 Missouri, North Texas at number 23 Tulane, Minnesota at number 24 Iowa. Then at 4 o'clock, it's number 8 Texas at Houston, Virginia at number 10 North Carolina at 6:30. Then at 7, it's number 13 Ole Miss at Auburn. At 7:30, it's number 2 Michigan at Michigan State, number 16 Duke at number 4 Florida State, Army at number 19 LSU. At 8 p.m., it's number 14 Utah at number 18 USC. Then at 10:30 tonight, it's Arizona State at number 5 Washington. And at 10:30 as well, it's number 25 UCLA at Stanford. The West Virginia Mountaineers kick off at 3:30 for their homecoming game as they host Oklahoma State. After this one, you can tune in on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM AM channel 740 to the Mountaineers game. That wraps up our halftime scoreboard show. Again, at the half, it is Shepherd 31, Westchester 7 will step aside, take a 2-minute break, and send it back to Ram Stadium with Nick and Travis on the call for our second half here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd Ram Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. As we get into some first half stats brought to you by Larry DeMarco at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state, they have you covered. We will start with Westchester on the ground. Deshaun Jacobs leading the way, 9 carries, just 25 yards and a touchdown. That's just 2.8 yards per carry. Cooper Jordan, 5 carries, 11 yards at the half. He also had that fumble. Deshaun Seals has a carry for 11 yards as well. Jordan throwing the football in that first half, 12 of 22, 120 yards and an interception. Was only sacked 1 time. Jacobs had 4 catches out of the backfield for 31 yards. Seals 3 catches for 28. Bowens 1 catch for 23, and Seth Degree 1 catch for 11. Defensively, Delgado leading the way at the half of 4.5 total tackles. 1 tackle for a loss. McPherson with 4. Mosley with 3.5. And Dail with 2.5. On the Shepherd side of things, Malachi Brown has ran the ball 6 times for 59 yards and a touchdown, including a big 51-yard run, 9.8 yards per carry. Jordan Barnett, though, has been a little bit more consistent, but both backs doing a good job here at the half. 7 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. His long 22 yards. Passing the ball for Shepherd, Seth Morgan, 12 of 18, already over 200 yards. Kind of a quiet 200 in some ways because there hasn't been a lot of huge plays, but and they've had that balance like we talked about. 211 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. He's been sacked 3 times. One thing that I guess Shepherd would want to clean up in this second half. Jeremiah Taylor, 4 catches, 84 yards. Cordell Batten, 4 catches, 58 yards, and both of those receivers having touchdowns. Barry Hill, 2 catches, 61 yards. And Malachi Brown, 1 catch for 5 yards. Defensively for Shepherd, Johnson leading the way with 3.5 tackles. Cole Scott with 3.5 as well, and Naeem Alexander with 2.5. Elijah Queen with 2. So, Travis, we talked about balance and Shepherd getting that balance throughout this first half, a dominating first half, 31-7. You look at some of the team stats. Shepherd has ran 34 plays for 298 yards, while Westchester has ran 39 plays for 164 yards, and the Rams 4 for 4 in those red zone opportunities, 5 of 7 on third down as well. And overall, just a dominating first half for Shepherd. Not a whole lot of negatives, like I said, only punting one time.
And you touched on it, 4 for 4 in the
We should have audio now. Check. Apologize for those technical difficulties. Somehow our audio got turned off, but we are back on the air now, 31-7. But Travis, what are you looking forward to about the second half? What do you think Westchester could do to maybe make this a game? And on the Shepherd side, how they just continue to hold on to this lead and their execution?
And again, it's just going to be something for Westchester where they're going to have to come away with something. So they're kicking the ball off. So the most important thing for them is that Westchester defense is going to have to get a 3 and out to try to slow down this offensive onslaught for Shepherd. Then they get the ball back. They're going to have to do something with the ball. I don't think that they're going to be able to take deep shots down the field. We thought that was going to be an aspect of today's game that was going to be in favor of Westchester, especially when you consider the injuries that the Rams are having to deal with on the back end. But Westchester, they're just not that type of offense where they're going to be able to take advantage of those injuries in the secondary. So they're going to have to do more check down passes, getting the ball out of the hands of Jordan Cooper a little bit quicker, so not allowing that rush to get to him. And you don't want him having to stay back there and try to make those precision throws deep down the field, especially when you factor in the type of wind. You want to try to get back into the run game. It's just something where you're just in desperate need of some type of offensive production to try to keep that Shepherd Rams offense on the sideline. So it's just going to be something important for Westchester to come out, get that 3 and out to start the second half, and they're going to have to do something with the ball once they get it back. They have some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. It's just going to be a question of can they distribute the ball to those playmakers and allow them to create something to get some momentum going for Westchester. But again, easier said than done because this is probably the best overall performance that we've seen out of Shepherd all year long.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what we've seen so far for Shepherd, pretty much mistake-free football in that first half. So, in Westchester, a team not really built to throw the ball a ton. They want to run the ball. So, being down 31-7 at a half against a Shepherd team that has a high-powered offense has already established a better running game than you have. I mean, Shepherd really has played probably how Westchester wanted to. I mean, plus some great passing as well. But the Rams have doubled up Westchester on the ground on one less carry. 16 carries for 87 yards. Westchester 17 carries for 44 yards. And that's with the minus 12 yards you get on the sacks. So you take the sacks away, and Shepherd has 99 yards rushing. So, I mean, they have been really good between their two backs, and that's only on 13 carries.
Yeah, and that's something, I mean, you could see the Rams just really, we're going to dedicate to running the ball here in the second half. And eat up that clock. You've already got the lead, so what you want to do is try to get to that fourth quarter as quick as possible. And you have two running backs right now that are really playing good football, so no reason to try to switch up the formula that much, especially because it has worked so well for you to this point.
Christian McDowell will field it from inside the 5-yard line, and McDowell gets it across about to the 26 before he's brought down on the play.
Jaleel Davis Shabazz, the 5'10", 185-pound freshman defensive back from Philadelphia, PA.
So Shepherd will take over again here offensively, and we'll see how the Rams elect to play things here. But you would expect Shepherd to be a heavy running attack here with the 24-point lead, but probably still keep that balance in the third quarter so you don't get one-dimensional and allow Westchester back into the game. You want to keep the pressure on this Golden Rams defense. But Malachi Brown is the back to the left of Morgan. 3 receivers. Again, it's Hill, the far side receiver. Batted in the slot, and Jeremiah Taylor matched up one-on-one here at the bottom of your screen. And Seth Morgan going to work. Run Malachi Brown. He's got a huge hole. Brown into the secondary. Brown across midfield. Malachi Brown on the first play of the second half gets 6. Touchdown Shepherd. 37-7.
Well, that's how you establish the run game in the second half. We were talking about using the run game to possibly eat up some clock, and Malachi Brown had different designs on that play, able to make the most of his first attempt. And Westchester just looked like they were more expecting a run to the edge and just left a gaping hole up the middle. Malachi Brown able to make the most of it. And again, very surprising, this Westchester defense, pretty stout against the run with that linebacking core, but just some type of breakdown on that play. And you could just tell that the Rams saw something in that defensive front, made that adjustment at halftime, and able to make the most of it on the very first play of the second half.
Yeah, no drop-off from halftime to the first play of the second half. If you blinked and you just came back, it's 38-7 Shepherd. Malachi Brown gone on the first play of the second half from scrimmage. We will take a 30-second break. When we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
We welcome you back here to this third quarter. And Shepherd on the first play from scrimmage on the third quarter takes about 75 yards on the Malachi Brown rushing touchdown right up the middle. 4-6. Westchester to return this kickoff and get out. Good field position to about the 36-yard line. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th district. A big run from Malachi Brown to begin this third quarter. Our third quarter is presented to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. As we have first down and 10 for Westchester, they'll run Jacobs. And he's tackled by Harold O'Neill, our other third quarter sponsor here. Is Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361.
And O'Neill doing a good job of taking on the blocker, then shedding that blocker and making the tackle. That was big Trey Wells. That's not an easy job to do. Wells, a 6'5", 300-pound junior. And O'Neill able to get the better of him on that play.
Pass underneath, complete to Jacobs. Jacobs takes a hit by J.T. Comayao. Looks like he may be just short of that first down marker. Will bring up a 3rd down and 1.
And that's the third time so far today that Westchester has used that screen pass on 2nd downs. To great success so far.
I think at about 3rd and 2. Either way, short yardage here on third down. I believe we have a change in quarterback, or am I just looking at that wrong?
Nope, that is a different quarterback.
Different quarterback here is now on the field.
Well,
he's TJ Persian. Or Pregame. So not Ethan Kohler either, the second string.
We're going to go with the Pregame, the 6 foot, 205-pound grad student. The Limerick, PA native, transferring over from Temple. Looks like Westchester has been raiding the coffers over there at Temple to bring in some talent.
Well, they're going to go with the QB sneak on 4th and 1 with that big quarterback. Or, I'm sorry, 6 foot. I thought when you said 6 foot 205, I thought you said 6'5". I was like, he doesn't look 6'5". But that makes more sense there. So,
again, Westchester just looking for that answer at the quarterback position. Never a good situation where you have different faces rotating in at that spot. You want to find that one signal caller and move forward. But until you find that guy, you got to do what you can do to find some consistency out of that position.
Play action pass. Pregame nearly spinning out of that tackle. JT Comey doing a good job in space to make that play for Shepherd. And, I mean, at this point, too, it could be, hey, it's 38-7. We have this guy who, as you mentioned, is a transfer grad student from Temple. Maybe he can give us something here. The game at this point appears to be out of hand. If we're going to continue to compete for the rest of the season like we want to, you know, a guy with D1 talent, at least at one point in his career, could be their guy. It looks like we're going to have a false start here as the Westchester line moving a little bit early there in the left tackle. Methley, I should say.
Kind of hard to hide out there. You're on the edge. You're also 6'3", 290 pounds. So kind of hard not to miss when you have a small movement like that.
Yeah, I don't think anything a 6'3", 209-pound man is small. Or anything they do is small, I should say. Second down and 12 here. Tough snap. Throw incomplete, intended for Mitchell.
That was tough. Pregame just having to reach down low to get that ball and then throwing that ball out quickly to the sidelines. Wasn't able to get his hands on the laces. You could tell the ball did not come out clean or accurate. And Westchester, again, just small penalties here and there, but it really just knocks that offense off schedule. And being so far behind, you really can't waste any opportunities to make some forward progress.
So here we go. Third down and 12 for Pregame and the Westchester offense. Pregame escaping the pocket, throws as he's hit, incomplete. Harold O'Neal getting some pressure for the Rams defense. And this linebacking core, even with what appears to be an injury to Dwayne Grantham today, the Rams linebacking core has been great. We've seen plays from Comey out, O'Neal all season. Both those guys have been in that rotation. Cole Scott, we mentioned at the half, tied for the team lead in tackles. So that depth is very important. We saw that last year. Grantham had an injury, and Devin Lynch stepped up. Nearly another punt block for the Shepherd special teams unit. Miles Greer picking it up.
And that one, I think he was trying to save his teammate on that play. That ball came very close to hitting Marcus Nicholson in the back on that play. Nicholson was locked in on the defender, just trying to block and free up Greer for a big return, and Greer not wanting to take any chances, went ahead, pulled the ball in to try to get what he could get on that play.
Yeah, I just thought initially when I saw that signal to kind of get away from it, then to see his hands go up and grab it, it was almost a difficult play. But Shepherd so far, they've ran one offensive play in this second half, and they got a touchdown on it. Malachi Brown going 75 yards on the first play of the second half from scrimmage, and now Jordan Barnett is the back here on first down and 10, and they will feed him. And Barnett has a big hole. Barnett across the 30, first down, tackled on the play by Davis Shabazz, the freshman.
Right now, this Rams offense is just really confusing this Westchester defense with their formations. The Rams have come out in a variety of different looks today, and just Westchester has not been able to get a comfortable look versus those formations. So hats off to that Rams coaching staff. They have really killed this Westchester defense with just the variety of formations that they've thrown at them so far today.
Yeah, and I mean, now you're going to have to bring down the bruising Barnett. And he is, a tough guy to bring down. As coming up making that tackle there was Daniel Hicks. And you've dealt with the speed from Malachi Brown. So I think this offense is coming into its own in terms of that identity with the running game and with its receivers and its passing game. Barry Hill has really established himself as an explosive weapon. Jeremiah Taylor has been kind of their leading receiver all season long. Here's an interesting formation for the Rams.
It was similar to the one that they just ran the previous play, where they motioned in Fisher to that wing spot, play action pass this time.
Morgan looking for that deep corner route for Taylor.
Too
He gets
much
his
time.
feet in. Just has the first down.
Just too much time. That Rams offensive line just doing a tremendous job. And again, Westchester is just off balance, having difficulties figuring out what's going on, how they're going to be attacked against these various Shepherd offensive formations. Again, similar look to what they did the previous play, but that's how you set it up. You run a play, now you have a wrinkle off of it where you use a play action pass, and just Morgan having all day to throw the ball.
Here's Barnett. Barnett running hard in between the tackles.
And again, Tank Fisher with the big kick-out block on that play, creating a lane for Barnett, and that's why you want to have a bigger back like Barnett. In these type of situations, you have the lead, and all you really want to do is just you want to continue to move the chains, and of course you like to put up points, but most importantly, you want to just eat up clock and wear that defensive front down.
Yeah, I mean, this Shepherd offensive line, they had to replace one of their better linemen in program history in Joey Fisher, as well as center Adam Stilley. They've been able to do that. Here goes Barnett. Barnett, another big run for the Rams. Touchdown, Shepherd. Jordan Barnett with his second rushing touchdown of the day. It's now 4 on the ground for Shepherd, and the Rams continue their dominance over Westchester, extending that lead even more here in this third quarter. Now 44-7 with 8:42 to go in the quarter.
And a beautiful jump cut by the big fella. Again, pressing hard up into the line. Realized that the point of attack is a bit jammed up as the Westchester defense was able to collapse down. Jump cut to the outside. There was a lane, and Barnett able to drop it into fifth gear and take it in the rest of the way for a touchdown.
Extra point is good. Shepherd 45, Westchester 7. Will take a 30-second break. The Rams continue to run all over Westchester's defense. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Shepherd 45, Westchester 7. That new scoreboard finally operational here at Ram Stadium, and maybe that's what it is. They had to break it in nicely.
Have to christen it in proper fashion here for the homecoming crowd.
But our scoring drives brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. It is Shepherd 45, Westchester 7. And we get a return here on the kickoff. And good job by Shepherd to stay in their lanes on that cutback from Zach Gillen and make the tackle.
And some extracurricular activities out there on the field as both ball clubs getting a bit chippy. It looked like it was Robbie Hart at the bottom of the pile. So not sure if he's going to be the guilty party on that play or perhaps going against Westchester, but referee's just trying to stay on top of it.
unnecessary roughness on the return team. Brody McAndrew, I believe the man they called that on.
And he was locked up with Robbie Hart and just took him to the ground. And at that point, the play was away from them, and the play had been over for quite some time. And those two continued to go at it. And as they say, it's usually the second man that gets the penalty. And Westchester, not a lot of penalties and not a lot of penalty yards, but the ones they have had have just been buzz killers. Like, they've had a little bit of momentum here and there, but just those penalties are just enough to kind of derail that momentum, and they don't have enough juice on the offensive side of the ball to overcome those small mistakes.
Here's the run play up the middle.
Good run.
Yeah, good-looking run there. Looked like that was Daquan Robinson in on the carry, so Westchester definitely trying to get some different looks from its offense that just hasn't had anything really going their way here today. Pregame taking over at quarterback. He has had his ups and downs in the early going. Obviously, of course, Cooper Jordan got the start. They have gone in the past to Ethan Kohler a little bit. I think he rotated with Jordan, but Pregame, as we mentioned, the transfer from Temple, grad student, getting an opportunity here to finish out this game. It appears 7:45 to go in the third. It will be third down here for the Westchester offense after another short run. Didn't expect a Shepherd blowout here today, but it is all Shepherd, 45-7 here in this third quarter.
You figure the defense in that first drive of the game able to stiffen up for Westchester, forcing Shepherd to kick a field goal, then Westchester getting the ball on offense, driving down, punching it in for a score. Thought we were going to have a much more competitive contest, but it looks like just Shepherd has just overwhelmed this Westchester ball club.
Deep ball intercepted by Christian McDowell. Underthrown on that one, intended for Jonathan Haynes. McDowell, though, reading it perfectly on a underthrown pass and comes up with the interception for Shepherd, the second turnover forced by this defense here today. Gianni Gamble with an interception in that first half, and now an interception there, setting up the offense again. Christian McDowell coming up with another big play. He's just filled in really well in this Rams secondary. Got a little bit of playing time last year as part of that safety rotation. We've seen him at both corner and safety this year, and he's played well.
And again, the Rams just having success with those defenders on the back end of the defense, just being able to be used in a variety of ways and just creates a lot of different looks for opposing offenses to have to try to contend with.
Shepherd running the ball hard up
just
the
pushing
middle,
the pile.
Pushing everybody out to about midfield. It'll be interesting to see how long the Rams keep this starting offense on the field with the big 45-7 lead. You would imagine, well, in the past, one thing that was kind of notable in most games, Tyson Pagent didn't come out of the game. Typically, we saw changes late in the game, like around 3-4 minutes or so, maybe to the backup quarterback. But we'll see if that continues here with this route. And here goes Malachi again.
Oh, that's
got it out of bounds.
I mean, he was outside of the white on that one. Kudos to Malachi Brown, really not trying to make the situation worse. Just took the hit, ran out of bounds. Now he's going right back to the huddle, and you could tell the frustration beginning to mount for that Westchester defense, but they are just getting whooped up front. There's no other way to look at it.
And right now, Travis, Shepherd's found this thing. They're going to bring Barnett in during the drive this time, but they've kind of found a way to go, hey, this is your drive for Malachi, this is your drive for Barnett, and rotate that way. And I think that's been really helpful because it keeps those guys fresh throughout the entire game, opposed to maybe running them in and out on each drive. Obviously, every situation you're going to call for a different guy, maybe if you feel like it's a better formation for him. But
yeah, and it's a learning and it's a learning situation for not only the running backs but for the coaches. You want to see what type of situations and what guys are comfortable with, the style of runner that they are. So again, as the coaches get more and more comfortable with the running backs get more and more comfortable with the play calls.
Fisher appears to be a little bit confused here on this 1st and 10, but he lines up in his correct spot and Barnett knows, hey, I'll just follow 88. That usually works out pretty well for us.
And Dihill, the
down,
big
though,
defensive tackles.
For Shepherd. Getting up slowly is James Bell, the center. He gives a thumbs up to say that he's all right. But they are going to.
Yeah, no reason for him to try to fight through. Like you said, the game situation is.
Run him off, run Wyatt Pelicano back on. So
it's nice when you have that type of depth up front, and that's something that Shepherd has had so much success with over the years, is just the way they're able to bring in these offensive linemen and develop them. And again, they're going out looking for a very specific type of offensive lineman, not so much the big maulers. They're going to blow you off the ball, although they have been doing that very well today. But they go out and get skilled, smart, athletic offensive linemen that are really able to flourish in that zone type of run game that Shepherd has had success with over the years.
So Curtis Jefferson takes over
cut.
at center. Barnett into the secondary down to the 10, but that's kind of weird. Pelicano was on the sideline, so Jefferson, I believe, is playing left guard. He'll slide down to center, and now the O-line looks like this. It looks like Chandler Brown is still at left tackle, Pelicano at left guard, Jefferson at center, who we've seen fill in as a backup guard. This is the first time we've seen him play center this season, and then Ty Lucas at right guard and Brandon Carr at right tackle like normal for Shepherd, but kind of interesting there. See Jefferson taking the center spot. Haven't seen him do that so far, but they'll run Malachi Brown, and Brown was maybe one cut away from breaking that one, and the ball came out. That's been his issue. Noble picks it up, and he's still going down the sideline.
He's got a lot of blockers.
He may be able to go, as Seth Morgan is the only real guy that can slow him down, and that little touch did just enough to prevent that from being a touchdown. Brandon Carr able to make the tackle. Morgan is arguing his knee was down, but
you could
no
tell,
whistle on the play.
And you could tell from the way that Malachi Brown reacted that it was a fumble, and that's been his issue, is not so much where it's a breakdown of technique, it's where he's trying to do too much. You've already had a successful game, and you're just trying to press it to get that next score. And just sometimes you have to take what the defense is going to give you. You see quarterbacks get themselves into trouble where they're trying to force the action. Running backs, it's the same thing. If you're just trying to force the action instead of taking what the defense is giving you, you're going to have plays that result in turnovers. And that's been Malachi Brown's problem, is that he's such a tenacious competitor. He tries to make something happen out of nothing.
Daquan Robinson
big
using
hit
some
that time.
physicality on his end. Gianni Gamble, the victim, bringing him to the ground, though.
So you see the smaller running backs that are starting to rotate in. You think you can come in and just hit him with the shoulder, and that's not the case. He's coming to the game, Daquan Robinson, and run quite well, and he's not a smaller running back, 5'11", 195, so he's a compact target.
We'll give it to him again. That time he runs into the line of scrimmage, and Shepherd makes the tackle. Looks like Baxter and Gamble combining for that one. I'm sorry, Scott in on that one. But there's a flag. You believe it will be a face mask, Travis?
It looks like that might be the case.
3:54 to go in the third. It is Shepherd 45, Westchester 7. The Rams have pretty much dominated from start to finish in this one. As we said, it was 7-3 Westchester, but then from that moment, the Rams took over. There's the face mask call going against the Rams.
Said Kyrie Wimberly was the guilty party on there. The Rams just
I think they got the wrong player there.
Yeah.
I think that was 35, Cole Scott.
Okay.
But I think they said 32.
Yes, they did say 32.
But I believe it should have been 35.
Again, just sometimes when a defender coming in, and it was a big pile-up of players, and a defender comes in a little bit too high, and a running back is running with good body lean, and sometimes when the defender reaches out, you're going to catch some face mask, and one of the few penalties that the Rams have had today.
Another running play, and that time Shepherd all over it again.
Oh, Nathan Muley, what a good play on the outside. He fought off two blockers and made the tackle.
Muley's had himself another great game for the Rams.
Able to bring down the running back with the kung fu grip on that play. He was not letting Robinson get away from him at all. Tremendous play.
Yeah, you got to like what this Shepherd D-line has brought the last few weeks. Getting pressure on the quarterback and also in the run game now, really starting to establish themselves. Golden Rams will go play action, looking deep. It's underthrown again, but it's going to be caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Westchester, hauling it in. Robbie Logano, the redshirt freshman. It looked like it might have been underthrown, but Logano came back to it, had just enough on it, and it's a touchdown for Westchester.
And Pregame just showing some veteran savvy on that play, realizing that he's not going to be able to step into his throw as he had pressure right in his face. Did a good job of throwing his wide receiver open. There was nothing but open space. He threw it in a way where that receiver was able to work underneath the defense and work towards the ball to get another touchdown for this Westchester offense.
Extra point up and good. So our score now, Shepherd 45, Westchester 14. Rams still in control with 3 minutes to go in this second half, or in this third quarter, I should say, and we will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Shepherd 45, Westchester 14, just over 3 minutes to go in this third quarter as Westchester gets a touchdown pass. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Shepherd going to return this kickoff. Miles Greer back deep for the Rams. And Greer will return it from about the 3-yard line. Miles Greer.
Got some good blocks.
Has a lot of good blocks. One-on-one with the kicker. Greer across midfield and brought down on the play by Davis Shabazz. We've seen this a few times today. Guys that have been not your ideal players to make a tackle, or just a few guys being in tough open space, doing just enough to allow their teammates to come up and make the tackle. We saw in the fumble play just a few moments ago Seth Morgan do that. They're a kicker one-on-one with Miles Greer. He's not going to win that battle, but Henry did just enough to get something on him and get time there for Shabazz to come up and make the tackle. And looked like Miles Greer was going to join the homecoming party with a touchdown return there.
He's been trying for it all game long.
They keep Malachi as the back, and they will feed Brown. And Brown, not much room. Noble, he's had another one of his kind of days at the linebacker spot, making the tackle there. Bring up second down. Coming up on 2:40 to play in this third quarter. Shepherd up 45-14 over Westchester on homecoming. The crowd has stuck around here on this homecoming for the Rams. Throw the ball here, incomplete to Ethan Williams.
Good open field
Williams
tackle.
is tackled in space. That time it's Darrell Brown, the safety, coming up and making the play.
You can see Westchester beginning to bring in some of their young football players. Brown, a 5'11", 180-pound freshman from Swedesboro, New Jersey. And you have to admire the faith that this Rams coaching staff has shown in Brown. He's had his fumbling issues throughout this season. He kind of had a handle on it the past couple of weeks, but it's cropped up again here today. But you look at that Rams running back room, not a lot of options there. They kind of depleted, lost a lot from last year. Some injuries this year has made it that much more thin. So you have to be able to trust the guys that you have in there. And again, it just shows a lot of faith and commitment in your running backs that when they go out there and make a mistake, that they're not going to be buried on the bench because of it. And it's pretty much putting the onus on them. It's like, look, there is nobody else. You're going to have to do the job. So you don't have any time to feel sorry for yourself. You got to go out there and keep making plays for your team.
Ethan Williams hauling in that pass. It's going to be 4th and 5, and Shepherd lining up to go for it here. Morgan in the gun, Brown the back to his right, and now he drops back a little bit like it's going to be that punt, and there it is. See if Shepherd can get a spot.
Ball, was it muffed?
I don't know, but Ethan Williams falls on it. Touchdown! So the ball was touched by a Westchester player, and Shepherd scores. And in a way, it's Morgan to Williams for 6.
They're going to get it one way or another, and just judging from the reaction of Shane Mosley on the play, it looked like he did touch the ball, and just the wheels have completely fallen off for Westchester. You get off to such a good start in the first quarter, and to have things jump on top of you the way they have here, the way the game is played out for Westchester, they were just not expecting to walk into this type of ambush to play against Shepherd. But man, oh man, just everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for Westchester, and the Rams are making the absolute most of their homecoming in front of this raucous Rams crowd.
Extra point coming on from Bozick to make it 52-14 if he's able to convert. Ethan Williams, the Boston College transfer, with his first career touchdown as a Shepherd Ram. The extra point is up and good. It is Shepherd 52, Westchester 14 with 56 seconds to go in the third, and there's still another quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back here to Ram Stadium. Our score, Shepherd 52, Westchester 14 on the punt from Seth Morgan. Westchester ran into it as it was rolling into the end zone, and then Ethan Williams dives on top to get Shepherd another touchdown. Here's the short kickoff. Travis, it's just everything going wrong for Westchester on the kickoff return. Tackle there for Shepherd was Tolbert, but just everything going wrong for Westchester there.
And again, this Rams special teams unit has just continued to make plays all year long. Early on in the season, it was the difference in a lot of those ball games that went in favor of the Rams were the play of the special teams unit going out there and just doing a variety of things. And it continues again today, and Westchester just, the wheels have fallen off, and they're just searching for answers, and things turned around on them pretty quick in today's game. Another running back checking into the game for Westchester.
Starter, I believe, right? Williams on the carry there. So Jaden Williams back on the field. We didn't see him too much today, which has kind of been weird. He's been their number one running back, but
has not been getting a lot of reps here as of late.
Pretty much have been going, for the most part, to
Jacobs.
Yeah, Deshaun Jacobs was getting the majority of the carries. We've seen a little bit here in the second half of Daquan Robinson as a pass attempt. Cole Scott providing the pressure. Pass is hauled in by Mitchell, but Robbie Hart is right there to lay the boom. Good catch, though, by the tight end on kind of a wild play. It looked like Cole Scott was going to come up with a sack. He's continued to play well, but...
And Thatcher Miller, I mean, he doesn't get a lot of looks, but from the looks of it, a bigger frame guy, good inline blocker, does a good job of finding the soft spots in the zone. He just does not get incorporated a lot into this offense. Like we said, last year led the PSAC in averages of average yards per catch, but again, just tends to disappear from time to time, and not sure why you would be reluctant to use a weapon like that in Thatcher Miller, especially when you have a young quarterback or questions at the quarterback position. Not a better friend for a young quarterback to have than a good tight end. Just Westchester just reluctant to get the ball into his hands. And he took a couple of hard hits so far today in that rib area. When you're that tall, you really don't give those defensive backs much option other than to try to go low and cut him in half.
Yeah, we're getting ready to start here this fourth quarter. We'll just keep it here. Our score, Shepherd 52, Westchester 14. And Travis, as we begin this fourth quarter, we'll see if we get to see any of the younger guys on both sides. I mean, Westchester's already kind of gone to its bench a little bit offensively, but I'd be excited to see some of these backups to Seth Morgan at quarterback. Now, Morgan still has another year of eligibility, so you would presume that he comes back for another season and finish his career with the Rams and probably would then be the starter again. But Lek Powell's a guy that I'd be interested to see. He actually didn't throw an interception his entire senior season of high school at Bishop McDevitt in Harrisburg, so very talented quarterback. This is going to be fourth down. Again, Nathan Muley coming up to make that tackle for Shepherd. He's had an excellent day on the defensive side, and I think it's going to be short of the first down as they are calling it 4th and inches here.
And he's just flourished. Once they've bumped him out to that defensive end spot, they've done very well.
Push play, and Shepherd,
no
push.
I think,
won it. The Rams caused the turnover on downs. Give credit to those interior D linemen, Jack Baxter and Matt Bednarski, for getting low, winning that line of scrimmage. There is a Ram down, and maybe Muley.
It looks like Muley. Westchester tried to line up quickly and catch the Rams off guard, but the Rams were Johnny on the spot to slow him down, but Muley slow to get up. We mentioned getting bumped to the outside. His game has really flourished, showing that he has a knack to get to the quarterback. And being an interior defensive lineman, you think he might be a little bit slow as far as keeping contained, but every time that Westchester's tried to get outside of him, he's been right there to shut it all down.
He's looking at, or they're looking at the leg, the left leg of Muley right now. Hopefully this is just a cramp, because we know how great he's been, and with how quickly his teammates Cole Scott and Richie Aguilar are running onto the field to most likely try to help him get off here. I think that appears to be the case, but that they will get him up and try to get him some fluids.
He's favoring that left knee. Look like it's got a pretty big brace on it and heavily taped. So probably having some issues coming into today's game with that left knee as his teammates help him off. That's you hope it's something where he can come back.
It's a cramp, but not certain here.
And he's not putting any weight on that left leg. And
again, like you said, Muley has just been dominating today. Has been a huge part of this defensive line, and you hope the best for him. And for Shepherd, especially, at this point in the game.
A lot of injuries beginning to mount.
You do wonder if Shepherd goes into its bench a little bit, and they are going to do that. Sammy Roberts out on the field at quarterback for Shepherd, the former Jefferson Cougar, getting some playing time. So Lek Powell's been listed as the backup for the majority of the season, but Roberts is in now at quarterback. I did notice the other day at practice that Shepherd had less quarterbacks than normal practicing. So I thought maybe either Powell or Roberts wasn't practicing, and I guess it must have been Powell because Roberts is out there now.
So a good run up the middle by Adiefe.
Yeah, getting some different guys into the ball game, and that's good decisions here for Shepherd. It's a brand new second-team offense, maybe even a third-team offense with some of these guys. But Roberts, we saw him play at Jefferson quite a bit, was a very good quarterback there, and Slinging Sammy is what we called him when he was with the Cougars. So excited to see what he can do in a Rams uniform. Probably won't get too much opportunity today. Majority run plays here.
Adiefe brought down in the backfield. In the backfield by Luke Trunnell.
Go ahead, Travis.
All right. Say the 6'3", 230-pound freshman linebacker. So you're starting to see both teams starting to rotate in some of their younger football players, and that's something that the coaches want to see. When you get in a game situation like this, whether you're on the winning side or the losing side, you want to see who is still engaged later on in the game, who's still in the fight, because that's something where the situation's good. Maybe you go to that player a little bit sooner rather than a little bit later because you realize he's going to be there for all 4 quarters.
Roberts' first pass as a Ram is complete to Marion Haley for a first down on 4th and 5. Slinging Sammy slings one in there for a Shepherd first down, but some other local guys getting some playing time right now. Christian Slack, the Martinsburg, former Martinsburg Bulldog. So he's up there at right guard. Fleetwood White is from Charlestown. He went to Washington High School. He's at left tackle.
Say Kason Lanza,
Yes,
tight end.
Tight end, former Jefferson Cougar.
Big fella, 6'5", 235.
Yep. A lot of guys that are locally former high school players in the area. Will Ennis is out there, receiver. He is not from the area, but Millersville, Maryland, so not too far, I don't believe. But we got 2nd down and 6 here for the Rams. I believe I hit on everybody. That is at least a West Virginia product that's local.
And it's something at this situation in the game, I'm like, do you want to go to your first backups? Because chances are those are guys that you're going to be relying on in normal game situations, so you don't want to risk an injury to your backup, so you go a little bit further down your depth chart and get some of those young guys some live game reps.
Here's another run for the Rams, stacked up on the tackle for Westchester. So Shepherd getting some good things out of their young players. 11:15 to go in this fourth quarter. And some may be surprised not to see the young Bajan out there, Ezra Bajan. But at D2, I believe it doesn't have the same rule as D1 with the red shirt. So if you step on the field, I think your red shirt is gone automatically, or at least a certain amount of plays. It's not like you get 5 whole games or whatever it is. And I think it's 4 games at D1 you're allowed to play without sacrificing your red shirt. So that could have something to do with it, or who knows. Maybe Roberts has taken that 3rd or 2nd string job now at this point. Not certain, but that could be part of the reason as well why we don't see the young Bajan out there.
So, it all adds to the excitement when you start getting deep down in the depth chart and trying to figure out why certain guys are getting used or perhaps why some guys may not get used.
So they will run the ball again. Again, a heavy dose of runs, and Westchester's pretty much still has some of their starters out there.
Dial just making the play on that one, and it's
starting D-line.
That's a bit unfair. You're a young guy going in there, getting your first taste of college football, and you got to go up against a big defensive tackle like that, the redshirt senior.
But hey, they've held their own.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, these guys have. Some of them have been, a part of this program for quite some time. Curtis Jefferson, one of those guys there at center who's been kind of that 6th man on the offensive line this season. We're seeing him play center. Roberts looking to throw, looking for the end zone.
Good ball. That's a catch.
Caught for a touchdown. Shepherd hauled in by Gabe Bigby for a Rams touchdown. Roberts, Bigby, both of them with their first touchdowns at this level. Great throw from Slingin' Sammy.
Again, that corner route, they scored on that earlier. You think back to the touchdown catch that Batten had early on in the game. Very similar look, and Westchester has just not had any answers for those multiple wide receiver side of the formation, especially with that slot wide receiver running that corner. The Rams offense has done a good job of identifying that weakness and exploiting it today.
58-14, Bozik's extra point is good. It is Shepherd 59, Westchester 14, 9:34 to go in this fourth quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd Ram Stadium here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Darrell and Matt Miller, our on-site crew, and back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. Sammy Roberts. It's Gabe Bigby for a touchdown. Both of them scoring their first touchdowns since coming to Shepherd. Bigby, a 5'9", 160-pound freshman. And Westchester here on the kickoff return, getting it out toward about the 40-yard line. But our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. So we'll see more of this Westchester offense, and Shepherd now with the majority of kind of a second-team defense, it looks like. Probably not going as deep into the rotation defensively, because that's just, I mean, typically you just don't want to, I guess, give a team any momentum no matter what the score is. And still a lot of time. I know it's 59-14, but that's just typically how teams roll. We usually keep second-team defense out there or so. And here's a throw over the middle, complete. And a flag coming in. I think Naeem Alexander that might have made helmet-to-helmet contact.
I'm curious what they're going to call it. He didn't take a brunt of the hit because the defender that was on the wide receiver was able to sling him down, so it was a glancing hit. But the referees are probably looking more at where he was targeting, because it looked like as the wide receiver was going down, the defender came in a little bit high, so you hope it's just a penalty and nothing more.
Yeah, especially at this point in the game, you don't want to see a targeting called. But obviously, if it was targeting, then that's what they got to go with. And again, this is kind of different at D2 compared to D1. They don't review for targeting; they just go with it. So
that's targeting.
Yep, targeting is the call, and it is fair. I mean, it did look like that was didn't really go for. Normal tackle, I guess you'd say.
Is he going to be ejected for that?
I think there are different stages to targeting at the D2 level, but they are going to run a player on. I'm not certain, again, if it was Alexander. I just kind of saw a 3, so I didn't hear either the call. I just saw the signal as well. I don't think they had their mic on.
I believe it was Tolbert.
Yeah, I think that
was the guilty target. Again, the wide receiver luckily did not take the brunt of that hit as he was being pulled down. But it just looked very bad, and the referees were forced to make a call on that, and that's just unfortunate when you're trying to work in some of the younger guys. And, again, didn't hear the referees if there was an official ejection. The defender did leave the field, but not sure if he got ejected or how that's going to affect him moving forward if you get ejected from a game.
Well, Shepherd is kind of thin in the secondary for all the injuries they've had, so they don't want anybody to face any long-term consequences. Here's a deep ball for the end zone and incomplete, just off the fingertips of the intended wide receiver, Longo, who caught the touchdown earlier.
Again, you can see the corners and the safeties having a discussion. A lot of times when you see those big plays broken open like that, it's usually a miscommunication between that corner and safety. You have to have clear communication between those two positions, because you're going to sacrifice big plays if there's any type of hesitation on that play. And, again, you're working in a lot of different people that haven't been used to working together as a group, let alone in live game situations. So you're going to have some of those mental breakdowns from time to time.
Play action. Pass nearly intercepted. Cole Scott in coverage. Scott has had a big day at linebacker for the Rams, and that would have just added on to it. But he gets the pass deflection instead, and it will bring up 3rd down and 10 with just over 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd rolling so far today, 59-14. And a flag.
False start on the left tackle that time for Westchester. Well, he's playing left tackle, but listed on the depth chart as a left guard. Luke Vereb, the 6'3", 270-pound redshirt sophomore, got out of his stance a little bit quicker than the referees would have liked.
So the false start will back him up. Make it 3rd and 15 for Westchester. Pregame in the shotgun, takes the snap. looking deep down the middle of the field and overthrows and incomplete. 4th down and 15.
That time just looked like a miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Pregame, the grad student, was expecting his wide receiver to run a corner on that play, and he continued in on the post. And luckily for Westchester, the ball was able to fall harmlessly to the turf. But again, you get to this point in the game, and you have a lot of new people coming in, not used to playing in games, and not used to maybe it's a different position that they're trying, and sometimes you're going to see some of these miscommunications.
9 minutes to go. 4th down and 15. Pregame throwing underneath, complete to Robinson in the flat. Robinson makes a move to get by Gamble, still going, still on his feet, and then knocked out of bounds. Yeah, I mean, Robinson was listed as their second-string running back on the 2 deep. Obviously, we've seen kind of today things not really play out how we expected. But obviously they've liked a lot of things that they've seen from Robinson at times from the redshirt sophomore, and they're out of the backfield doing some good things.
So he had a one-on-one situation there with Gamble and was able to give him a nice head fake, jab step to the inside, and able to get outside and pick up that 4th down conversion.
Pressure again coming from Shepherd, and the Rams get the sack.
It's Kowser with the
Kevin
big play.
Kowser adding to what has already been a big day for the Rams, and the helmet coming off as well. So now Jordan will be forced to check back into the game. So Cooper Jordan is going to run back on, which this is, of course, a tough situation because he was benched. So he'll come back on with it being 59-14, 8:25 to go. 2 turnovers for Jordan in that first half, and that's what's kind of held him back throughout the season. And he'll look to throw here under pressure, throws a screen, knocked down by the big D lineman for Shepherd. Looked like
it was Baxter.
I'm sorry, Baxter. Okay.
And just trying to drop that little teardrop over the defensive rush for the screen pass. There was a flag deep in the backfield. Looked like it may have been roughing the passer, perhaps, and that's what it's going to be.
That hurts if you're Shepherd because you had it to, I believe, would have been 3rd and 23 or so, but instead we have the roughing the passer call. Coach McCook disagreeing with it, it appears. But this will give a 1st down to Westchester. And kind of a lot of penalties picking up here toward the end of the game as things get sloppier with the younger players in. And 8:14 to go. Shepherd 59, Westchester 14. And they're going to keep Jordan on the field for this play as well. They'll run their read option. Jordan gets a good block. Will take it into the end zone. Touchdown Westchester now with 8:06 to go as Cooper Jordan checks back in due to the helmet coming off of his backup Pregame, and he takes it into the end zone. So
again, and that's so tough. Yeah, that's so tough to stop, especially once you get down inside the red zone like that. That quarterback running that zone read fake. And Cooper able to make the most of it. And some good blocks out there on the edge by those wide receivers. And Cooper Jordan doing a good job of setting those blocks up. He could have easily just tried to turn on the Jets and run it to the outside, but looked like that play is going to get called back due to a holding. So maybe those blocks on the outside a bit too good.
That appears to be the case as take the score off the board, and
that's just tough. You're running the ball on the edge. You got those wide receivers. They're not used to blocking people like that. They're used to mostly going in there kind of screening the defenders away from the ball, but you rely on them to get that type of block on the edge, and sometimes you're just going to get holding penalties.
Well, Robinson got a big hole, but it was a shoestring tackle from Shepherd to prevent a touchdown on that run. Now we'll have 2nd and goal.
Cooper Jordan comes back out of the game, but coming back in, tough situation. He was able to make some plays for his offense, just unfortunate. It was a penalty that pulled that touchdown off the board.
2nd and goal from the 7. Williams is back in at running back. Mitchell going in motion. They'll go Williams. Williams is brought down. Great tackle there on the edge from Ofori.
And that was a bad decision by the running back. I know he's desperate to make plays, like his carries have been diminished over the course of a season, so he's just trying to make an impact in any way he can, but sometimes you just got to grind it out and takes what the defense gives you. He tried to bounce it outside, and it's just not the strength of his game. He's 6'1", 215 pounds. You want him running north and south. But the Rams defense, again, very stout at the point of attack, making those running backs adjust their feet, bounce it outside, and that really plays to the strength of that Rams defense as they're able to quickly react and rally to the football and tackle well in space.
Pass here on 3rd and goal is caught
Long
for
go.
a touchdown. It's long go again, scoring 6. And that will make it now 59-20 with 6:40 to go in this fourth quarter. And the extra point running on. So Westchester has seen some things here and there from their second offense against kind of a mix of first and second teamers on defense for Shepherd at this point. Henry will run on for the point after. And it is up, and it is good. So our score, Shepherd 59, Westchester 21, 6:40 to go in the fourth. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium. Westchester able to get another touchdown in this one. The scoring continues between these two teams, but Shepherd up big on the Golden Rams, 59-21 with 6:40 to go in this fourth quarter. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Fourth quarter here between Shepherd and Westchester. Rams looking to just continue to put it away with this young offense on the field and a young defense out there as well. For the Golden Rams, Travis, they maybe figure some things out here moving forward, I guess, is their goal at this point.
And one, you have to appreciate the fight that they're showing down the stretch. The outcome of the game is pretty much all but decided, but you want to see those guys that are willing to compete even when things are seemingly out of hand, and that's something that you're going to need as you're moving forward. This Westchester team likely going to fall to 4-4 and overall, and 2-3 in conference. And again, this is a proud program. They've kind of slid back here the past couple of years, and we mentioned some of the bigger name players that they lost from last year's team, and they certainly could have used them today. I don't think that would have swayed the outcome, but you have some bright spots. You have some young talent on that Westchester team, and just things just blew up in their face today. This was an absolute ambush by this Shepherd Rams ball club in front of their homecoming crowd, and really brought out their best football here today.
And look who's on the field. Ezra Bajent is on, and the Rams start the career of young Ezra with a completion to Haley for a few yards. But our fourth quarter is brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Bajent will hand it off here on 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard completion.
Good patient run that time by the ball carrier, Kelvin Mendez, 5'8", 195-pound redshirt freshman from Aberdeen, Maryland. Again, a chance for these young men to get something on tape, give their coaches something to mull about when they're constantly tweaking of their rotations. You want to see who can make plays late in games for you.
Bajent straight drop back pass to Mendez is high and hauled in by the running back for a few yards. So Ezra Bajent taking over here in this late fourth quarter for Shepherd, and they'll run the punt unit on, as that will be a 3-and-out, 4th down and 2. Of course, Ezra playing his high school ball at Martinsburg High School, did a great job for the Bulldogs, helped them win a state championship a few years ago as the starting quarterback. And now we'll see a punt from Barrick, and Barrick got a lot on this one. It's over the head of Seals.
You could hear it.
It will roll inside the 10, and a beautiful punt from Ryan Barrick all the way down to about the 3-yard line.
Again, this Rams special teams unit has just been playing outstanding football all year long. Just a group of young men that are excited to get out there for special teams. It doesn't matter their role, whether they're just blocking, long snapping, it doesn't matter. They're going out there with just the intention of making a play for a teammate. And when you get a group of young athletes and they buy in, you can get special plays like that consistently throughout the year, and the Rams have enjoyed that success all year long.
So the ball rolled all the way down to the 2-yard line. And now we will see again the Westchester offense on the field. Shepherd keeping that same kind of look defensively, mixture of both first and second teamers. Mainly second team, it looks like at this point. But the Rams cruising to victory over Westchester. 59-21 our score, and Westchester will run the ball up the middle, get it up to about the 4-yard line, gain of about 2 on the play, and an injury. A Westchester lineman going down, and you see everybody on the Westchester's side of the field signaling about that injury, so never a good sign there. And we are going to take a 30-second break and then kind of see where things are at. And it's 4:20 to go, 59-21 with the injury. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Welcome you back here to Shepherd. It's like teammates are going to help him up and help him get off the field here for number 73, Trey Wells, who went down on that play. And maybe some sort of leg injuries. Don't want to speculate too much, but hopefully everything good there for Wells, who went down immediately, and that's never a great sign.
That and his teammates were quickly motioning to the sideline to get some help out there. Looked like he's favoring the left knee. And again, nowadays you see most of these offensive linemen wear knee braces on both knees. It's just part of the equipment nowadays. They put them on them just like a helmet or shoulder pads, but even then, as an offensive lineman, you're going to know that you're going to get rolled up in a pile from time to time, and even those knee braces really can't help you in those type of situations.
Low snap, handed off, not much room. Final few minutes rolling off the clock in this one. Shepherd looking for another win over the Westchester Golden Rams to
again, a tough situation. You're already rotating in some young guys, and now you have to shuffle things up even more when you have an injury to one of your backup offensive linemen. And it's been a long day for Westchester.
Under some pressure, Richie Aguilar providing that pressure, escaping the sack and safety. That's the only thing Shepherd hasn't done today is get a safety. Score coming on special teams with the, I guess, what'd you call that, special teams when your quarterback punts?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but Westchester will be forced to punt here on 4th down. It was the offense on the field, so I think it's kind of an offense special teams combo score there.
Oh, when you're up this big, you know you can.
I'll have to ask that to Coach
McCook. Yeah, we got to consult the rule book.
You guys count that as a special team score? Well, they brought some pressure there. Greer will call for a fair catch.
Oh, puts the ball on the ground.
Fumbled again, but again, Shepherd gets it. Gianni Gamble going with the one-hand pickup on a loose ball on the field. Okay, Gianni, we see you.
And Greer, that's the second time he's had a mishandled ball on the punt. That was a booming punt. So you kind of get lulled into the game, you know, the things.
The wind today.
Yeah,
well.
and it has been. And on that side of the field, you see the flags over towards that side of the field, the open part of the stadium. The wind is a little bit more active, whereas down here, so the ball's just going to start moving like a knuckleball once it gets past our press box. And that was tough for Greer to try to track it down.
Yeah, so I think that's what you could say. I mean, Miles hasn't had that issue really all season, so I don't think it's a consistent issue. I think it's just this wind is terrible right now, and at times it's made it tough to get a good read on where that ball's going to be.
Because if you look at the flags, all the flags are going in different directions. So it's kind of hard to get a feel for where it's going to end up. Again, it just shows one of the challenges. That's one of the tougher plays in the game of football is cleanly fielding a punt. And a run up the middle that time by the Rams offense, and another new running back checking into the game for Shepherd, Tyrone Hudson, the 5'8", 177-pound freshman from Waldorf, Maryland, able to pick up a 3-yard gain on 1st down for Shepherd.
Bajan adjusting here at the line of scrimmage, just over 2 minutes to go. Kind of getting his opportunity to get some playing time before the conclusion of this one. They'll hand it off again. And Westchester stacking it up in the backfield. I believe we have another new running back in there for Shepherders. It's still Mendez. No, it appears to be number 29, I believe.
That's Hudson.
Tyrone Hudson.
He's getting a chance to run this series. And you see the Rams, it's a lot of talking at the line. It isn't so much where they're trying to make an adjustment. I think it's more of an effort to try to milk the clock as much as they can, just trying to shorten this game as much as they can. Don't want to risk any type of injury or anything crazy happening at the end of a ball game that's going to affect you going forward.
And Bajan will look to throw here. And it's caught.
No.
Incomplete.
He had it.
I believe that was Spencer Powell. Yes, it was. Spencer Powell, another local guy from Jefferson High School. Got a few local receivers that are young guys on this team. Roman Pearson from Martinsburg. Isaiah Fritz also from Jefferson.
And it looks like he had the ball, Powell, as he was able to make a late play on it, was able to catch it right before it hits the ground, but then he was trying to make that adjustment with the ball in his arms, and at that point in time, the ball just popped free. So had his opportunity to come up with a nice, pretty catch. It was a good ball. Bajan did a good job of giving him a chance to make an opportunity, giving him an opportunity to make a play on the ball. Just wasn't able to corral it.
You know what it was, Travis?
What's that?
Martinsburg and Jefferson.
That's what it is. The beef continues.
If that was Sammy Roberts, he would have hauled it in. Just like the old days.
He's different. He's used to a different rotation on the ball. That's what it is.
Or if Roman Pearson was the one going up for that pass, the Martinsburg former receiver, that would have just been like high school. Would have been easy. But hey, these guys got to get used to playing together.
There you go. They're coming together now. It's a higher level of football. You got to put those old beefs to rest.
So, 59 seconds should be some of the final plays here of the game. I wonder if Westchester will even run plays here with the score being the way it is. It does look like they got a back in the backfield, but you don't want to have anybody get injured on either side. And there's a big hit in the backfield just to continue what we've seen all day from this Shepherd defense. I think Queen was the one to get there on the Williams carry. And one more play will still have to be run here with about 28 on the play clock and 36 or so on the game clock. 2nd and 10 after no gain on that one. Rams going to walk away with another homecoming win and another win over Westchester, improve their record to 4-0 over the Golden Rams. Here's another run. Queen getting to Williams again off that edge, and then eventually making the tackle. Final play of the ball game, and Shepherd gets another happy homecoming, another victory on the season in dominating fashion over one of the traditional powers in the PSAC. Shepherd wins over Westchester 59-21. The new scoreboard got broken in pretty well here today, Travis.
There you go. You got a chance to light up all the digits with all the points being scored today. And the Rams, again, just one of their best overall. I think you can go ahead and chalk it up. It's been their best overall performance of the season. And, again, they do it in all three phases, offense, defense, and, of course, special teams has been that stalwart all year long for the Rams. And, again, the Rams just continuing to march along, setting themselves up for a big game next week.
Yeah, at Bloomsburg is where we'll be. And then in 2 weeks, we'll return home for what should be probably a bigger challenge for Shepherd than that Bloomsburg game next week, but we'll see. I mean, I never know. PSAC football this year has been kind of crazy, so anything can happen. But we will have to take a 3-minute break to get our sponsors all in, and then on the other side of that break, we'll have the post-game show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 3 minutes with the Palace Lounge post-game show.
Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood, West Virginia is closing its doors forever. I'm Lori, and my father started this jewelry store 48 years ago. It's bittersweet for us to retire and go out of business, but we are so grateful to you.
I'm Dave. Stop by now and receive up to 70% off our entire inventory. It's our way of saying thank you to our cherished clients who have treated us like family for so many years.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
welcome you back here to Rams Stadium in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, on the campus of Shepherd University. We now go into our post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. We'll get, Travis, what were your thoughts on this one just overall, and then we'll get into some post-game stats.
Just an incredible game by Shepherd University. We knew coming in to this year that there were going to have to be a lot of questions that needed to be answered with the amount of firepower that they were losing from the year previously. And again, the Rams have been able to answer those questions week after week throughout this season. And today, I really think you saw everything come together. Coach McCook has talked about that, just playing a complete game, all three phases for 4 quarters, and I believe we saw that today from Shepherd, and probably they're their best outing of the year so far, coming off of a tough game versus Millersville. Not only were you going up against a stout defense last week, but you also had to contend with the elements. They played a great game last week, and this week they return home. Much better weather conditions. You still had some wind that you had to contend with. You had the homecoming crowd and the nerves that go along with that, but the Rams were able to persevere through all of that and just absolutely dominate Westchester for 4 quarters of football, and they did it in all 3 phases of the game. I think right now you're starting to see the best football that this Rams team has put on the field so far for this 2023 campaign.
Yes, let's jump into some post-game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood. Taking care of you like nobody's business. Bechtel Jewelers is closing. So make sure to go out there and get your jewelry 70% off. So
everything must go.
Everything must go as part of their closing sale. So anyway, moving forward into those post-game stats, let's take a look at the Shepherd offense first. Seth Morgan, 15 of 21, 71%, 237, 2 scores. Didn't really have to do much in that second half. Not sure if he had over 200 at halftime, so only had like 35 yards, I believe, in the second half. But, hey, that was good enough to get the win. Both Ezra Bajan and Sammy Roberts get action here today. They both complete 2 passes. Bajan just 1 yard. Roberts 22 yards and a touchdown pass as well. On the ground for Shepherd, this is where the domination came. 11 carries, 159 yards for Malachi Brown. He did have 2 fumbles, but 2 touchdowns as well. Only one of those fumbles was lost. Jordan Barnett also had an excellent day. 13 carries, 106 yards, and 2 scores. 41-yard run as well. The 2 running backs both going over 100 on the day and 4 touchdowns. Probably been a very long time since we've seen that from Shepherd. I would imagine that 2 100-yard rushers. I'm trying to think if I can remember exactly off the top of my head. I know there was a game a few years ago where they had some big runs in it. I can't remember the opponent, so I'd have to look that up after and maybe fill you in on Monday on the Sports Mix with that stat potentially. But Jeremiah Taylor, 5 catches, 106 yards and a score. Barry Hill, 2 catches, 61 yards. Cordell Batten, 4 catches, 58 yards. And Bigby, 1 catch, 13 yards and the touchdown. Haley had 2 catches as well for 14. Ethan Williams, 3 catches, 7 yards. And the unconventional touchdown on the offensive punt that he fell on in the end zone on the muff punt return from Westchester. Defensively for the Rams, Harold O'Neal leads the way in tackles with 6. Johnson with 5, Scott with 5, Kowser with 5, as well as a sack. And Shepherd's defense gets 2 sacks on the day, Nathan Muley and Kevin Kowser. A pair of interceptions as well from Christian McDowell and Gianni Gamble. And moving on now to the Westchester side of things. Offensively for Westchester, Jacobs leading the way in terms of carries today. 10 carries for 33 yards. Robinson, 8 carries, 69 yards. Jordan, 6 carries, 22 yards. Jacobs also had that early touchdown. Passing the ball, Jordan goes 12 of 23, an interception, 120 yards. Pregame goes 6 of 12, an interception as well, 73 yards and 2 scores. And defensively for Westchester here real quick, before we wrap it up. Davis Shabazz with 9 tackles. Delgado with 9 tackles to lead the way. Sacks coming from Dail, Noble, and Johnson. And that's pretty much it in terms of the stats here. Again, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. Overall, a great win for Shepherd here today. And we'll now get into our awards portion. Travis, you ready for those?
I am. I'm ready.
All right.
I've been over here writing feverishly while you were giving the stats, so I'm ready to go. Where are we starting at?
We're going with the electrifying play of the game. Brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. They're located at 360 Hack Wilson Way or online at Orsinis.com. Travis, what is your electrifying play of the game? I think I know where you're going.
Well, my electrifying play of the game is going to go to Rams running back Malachi Brown. The big TD run to start off the second half was able to take it 74 yards just to crush any hope of Westchester getting back into the game. So my electrifying play of the game, Malachi Brown, 74-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was a great run by Malachi and a great job by the offensive line to open up that hole. Our collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. This one might be a little bit harder, but what'd you come up with?
Well, it actually was one of the easier ones. I got it early on in the game. Collision of the game is going to go to Mujahid Johnson. He had the big hit early on in the game on that opening drive for Westchester, and it really set the tone for that Rams defense. We knew that they had some injuries coming into today's game on the back end of that defense, but Mujahid Johnson coming up big. It was a flare pass out to the left side of the field, and he lowered the boom on the running back to force that 3-and-out on the opening drive. So my collision of the game goes to Mujahid Johnson.
Okay, you had to go all the way back. I think that was the first or second play of the game. So that was or might have even actually been the third down play.
Yeah, third down play, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. It was very early on, though. What about your good hands catch of the game brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance? For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by at 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. I think you had a change on this one. At one point it was going to maybe go to a Westchester player, I think.
It was. At first it was going to go to Seals for Westchester. Had the big catch on third down, 23-yard catch in traffic towards the end of that second quarter. Was really setting up Westchester to try to make something happen at the end of the first half, but it did not go to him. I'm going to give it to the young fella. I'm going to give it to Gabe Bigby with a 13-yard touchdown catch in the fourth quarter. It might have been garbage time by some, but not by him. He was able to go out there and make the most of his opportunity, and all he does is catch touchdowns. Trying to get onto the Michael McCook watch list this year. Had one catch, 13 yards, for a touchdown. So Gabe Bigby gets my catch of the game.
He might have had one other catch earlier in the season, but I don't want to take that away from him. So all he does is catch touchdowns, Gabe Bigby. And I like that one. That was definitely a great catch. What about player of the game? Brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864.
Well, there was a couple of names that popped up. We talked about the stat line for Seth Morgan, again, completing a high percentage of his passes, over 200 yards as well, 2 touchdowns. You look at the running backs between Barnett and Malachi Brown. Both had big games going over 100 yards, both having 2 touchdowns. And what do all of those skill guys have in common? They need to run behind those big uglies up front. So player of the game is going to that Rams offensive line. So you got Chandler Brown, Wyatt Pelicano, James Bell, Ty Lucas, and Brandon Carr creating those opportunities for those small, fast guys to make plays. My player of the game, Rams offensive line. They need to buy those guys some sandwiches today.
Yeah.
For such a good performance.
I think they did a great job. Jordan Barnett said, I scored 2 touchdowns back-to-back weeks. When can I get player of the game, Travis?
It's tough. It's tough. You got to do something special to get out there. And with that Rams offensive line playing the way that they're doing, it's going to be tough to push those big guys out of the way.
I'm always a fan of giving credit to the offensive line. 59-21 win for the Rams. Again, we're back next week at Bloomsburg. I think that's a 2 p.m. kickoff, so 1:30 pregame show. But for Matt and Daryl Miller, Travis Smith, Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, who you'll hear from on the other side of this break. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long from Ram Stadium, and have a good rest of your Saturday afternoon, everyone.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome into the post-game scoreboard show on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as the Shepherd Rams pick up another win here on homecoming by a final score of 59-21 over the Westchester Golden Rams, as Shepherd now 7-1 overall. Westchester falls to 4-4. Let's now take a look at around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Final score, Clarion 34, Edinboro 20, as Clarion improves to 2-6, and Edinboro falls to 2-6. Fourth quarter right now, it is the Golden Bears of Kutztown just barely in the lead over Lock Haven. That one right now 7-3, as all the Shepherd Rams now paying attention to that one to see if Lock Haven's able to pull off an upset and beat Kutztown to potentially help Shepherd out here in the PSAC East. 10-0, 8:38 to go in quarter number 3. It's Shippensburg on top of Millersville. Let's now flip over here to the other 4 games in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. It is 10:55 remaining in quarter number 3. Slippery Rock leads California PA by a score of 14-13. Fourth quarter, 14 minutes remaining. It is East Stroudsburg 21, Bloomsburg 10. And just kicking off now, it's Gannon at Mercyhurst and IUP at Seton Hill. Those are your Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference scores. Let's now take a look at some NCAA Division I top 25 games. A very low-scoring affair so far between number 3 Ohio State and number 7 Penn State. That still 10-6 with 9:07 to go in the fourth quarter. 10:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Right now, it is UCF leading number 6 Oklahoma 23-17. It's UCF trying to get its first win in the Big 12. And what a way to do it if they can hold on and defeat number 6 Oklahoma and end the undefeated season. If you want to tune into that one, go watch on ABC. 3:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's number 22 Air Force leading Navy 17-0. And then at 3:30, kicking off, it will be Washington State at number 9 Oregon. Also number 17 Tennessee at number 11 Alabama. South Carolina at number 20 Missouri. North Texas at number 23 Tulane. And Minnesota at number 24 Iowa. Kicking off at 4 p.m., it's number 8 Texas at Houston. Then at 6:30 tonight, it's Virginia at number 10 North Carolina. At 7 o'clock, it's number 13 Ole Miss at Auburn. At 7:30, it's number 2 Michigan at Michigan State. Also at 7:30, it's number 16 Duke at number 4 Florida State. Army at number 19 LSU. Then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's number 14 Utah at number 18 USC. And at 10:30, it's Arizona State at number 5 Washington. Number 25 UCLA at Stanford. Also kicking off here at 3:30, it's the West Virginia Mountaineers homecoming game as they host the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Big 12 conference play. Both of those teams 4-2 overall so far this season. That wraps things up here on the post-game scoreboard show. Again, our final score, Shepherd 59, Westchester 21. Next week it is Shepherd at Bloomsburg. Kickoff for that will be at 2 p.m., which means pregame coverage right here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube will start at 1:30. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off. This has been Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. You've been watching coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's game. All rights reserved.